everybody! How's it going? Are we on yet? Is it going? Yeah, hear me. I heard me. I think everybody heard me. I actually started streaming at the right time, too. That's crazy. That's craziness. I actually started talking right on time. Right on time. So, it is Friday evening. And you all know what that means. It's time for more Winds of Change on this September evening. So, last time we went into Mazeo and we walked around the marketplace. We shared an apple. Shared an apple with the bunny rabbit. And the bunny rabbit liked the apple, and I liked the apple, so that was a thing. Then we went to the bar and got some drinks with Ulrich, I believe his name is. It's kind of funny, I can remember who Ulrich is, but I can't remember the name of the bunny. Oh, Fontaine? What is his name? Bunny guy, the little bunny guy. Jeez. Horrible names. I can't even remember the lady's name either. I remember who Ulrich is, though. I don't know why that is. Maybe because Ulrich's an easy name. I don't know. His voice is easy, too. Anyway, so we got drunk and with Ulrich, and then we went to the thing, and we're going to have this meeting with these pirates. So, we're going to end up getting started here in a little bit. Give people an opportunity to show up. It's a pretty quiet night tonight. I don't see anybody on. There it is. BP, something like that. Now that's PB. That was the bunny from the last game. That was the pink bunny. And what's his Mr. Strangelove made a strange joke about that one. But how you doing this evening, Golden Bunny? You're the first one to show up. So that means you might be the only one who gets to vote what pirates we follow. Hooray! Everyone else loses out. Haha. Alright, so let's continue. This one. So there's only really one other... Ah, yes, there's dialogues that we didn't do, I guess.
Hey, Lilith. Yeah? Is there a library in Mazeo? Like, a place to read up on the spirits? I have some stuff I'd like to look into.
You're an idiot. We're all idiots.
Unfortunately, no. The Triumvirate seized all of that long ago. Rumor has it they've stuffed it all in Balteus.
Did you just hear that? She's like, Triumvirate. She's the only one in this game who's pronounced it that way. I wonder if she'll do it again. Triumvirate. It's almost like me like pronouncing hurricanes, apparently, because apparently in the last video I didn't do it
You mean
well.
at the Grand Library?
Yeah, but I don't know for sure. It's just ancient rumors at this point.
Ancient?
There's a group of people that say so, yeah. They think life existed on Alestia before the Triumvirate. When they took over, they just stole any right.
She did it again! It's the Triumvirate! Oh my god, this is too much.
That's impossible.
Hey, I didn't say they were a smart group. But nobody's been to the Grand Library to see. The Triumvirate keeps such a tight grip on Balteus.
Oh my god. No one, like, it's kind of funny too, because like...
So they can't prove their theories. But at the same time, we can't disprove them.
This is great. Is this like a Mazeo dialect or something? They call them the Triumvirate? But everyone else calls them the Triumvirate?
Exactly. Unless you visit the Grand Library. You are going to Balteus, right?
You're the only one to see it, Golden Body.
That's the end goal, yeah.
This is great.
Then maybe we'll find out soon. Whatever knowledge they have in there, we deserve to know. I'm sure Domic will open its doors to everybody after the war.
Let's talk more about the triumvirate.
Who do you side with, Lilith?
What do you mean? Like, between Alex and Nada?
No, between Alestia and the triumvirate.
Yeah, the pirates. I was just curious, that's all.
Hey, Tajux.
Well, I don't know their demands. That would play a big part in my choice. But even then, it's not my place to decide.
Oh, I'm not asking you to decide. It's just a hypothetical question. Hey, take your time. It's not an easy decision after all.
Alex, hands down.
Or you could answer instantly. But why Alex? What makes him better?
Everyone likes Alex more than Nova. What did Nova ever do to you other than pirate slaves and other things?
He treats me with respect, that's what. Nada, on the other hand,
Or
well,
Nada,
that's
what's
a
her
different
name?
story. The way I look at things, there's two types of people. Those that use others as stepping stones for success, and those that respect others, rising to the top together. Nada is the former, and Alex is the latter. She's ruthless. She's pretty much double-crossed everybody but Grizz. If that ever happens, trust me, I won't be surprised at all.
How do we know we can trust her then?
Well, her and Alex have the edge in negotiations. They have what we want, so they can demand anything. I have no doubt that Nada will try to gain power and influence. These are the things she'd usually stab others in the back for, but now she has an opportunity to get it just by helping Grizz.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. She's only in it to get what she wants.
Yeah, she get what she want.
Yeah, and Alex, on the other hand, I'm sure his demands will benefit more than him. That's just the type of guy he is, so I like him more.
All right. Thanks for the information.
No problem, little one.
Little one. Ha ha ha. Ah. Important papers strewn about the desk. It's not my business to read them, but curiosity overtakes me. I slowly approach the desk and try my best to make out what I can. It seems to be a bunch of papers regarding upcoming shipments. It's correspondence between Grise and the Mazeo shipping company. Underneath those papers is letters between Grise and the triumvirate.
Hey, get away from there. Those papers aren't for your eyes. That's top secret. Only for the mayor.
Which is why you keep them out in the front desk, lady. And not in his office. Like, seriously. And number two, it's about the triumvirate, not the triumvirate. So I am good to go here. Then why leave them out in the open like that? Yeah, that's what I said. Before I can continue, she gathers them up and takes them away. She's running all over the place. Lilith must be a busy girl. There's a book sitting wide open on one of the desks. It seems to be a news article and recently written, too. I inspect further and learn that it details Mazeo's piracy.
The blurred lines of piracy. The pirates of Mazeo undertake the importing...
Blah, blah, blah. I guess things are more complicated than I thought. It's almost like Alex fighting for more... It's almost like Alex is fighting for more rights. All that divides the groups is one piece of paper. He's gonna fight for his right to party. Hey, Sam. Okay, though I did find the book, so there's no other books. Oh, she's gonna yell at me again.
Hey!
Didn't you just put those away? Why'd you have to put them away again? That's the door that leads to Grace's office. Quite a dramatic sight, if you ask me. Definitely makes it feel important. Underneath the stairs rests some sort of contraption. If I had to guess, it would be a statue of a resembling a spirit idol. There's an artist's name and a date on it. It must have been expensive. Is it heavy? Yeah, then it's expensive. Put it back. I mean, that just looks like that covers the whole area. Alright, guys, you ready to go in and vote for these guys? Let's see. Here we are. We all enter the office in sync. not like Backstreet Boys, and everyone inside stares at us. It's odd, but at first glance I can tell exactly who everybody is. Nada takes a few steps forward, a sly smirk on her face. I don't think I've seen Nada yet.
Late, are you? Good to know your word is trustworthy. It's not like this is important or anything like that.
She doesn't look too evil. You can tell she's evil because she's got a hurricane on her hat. It'll strike Alabama, just you watch. Just when you least suspect it. Bam! It's clear bait, and Damek doesn't take it at all. Instead, he smirks back and approaches Grise and the pirates.
Actually, this meeting doesn't start until I arrive. So, Nada, you're actually early. Very obedient of you. A bit softer than your reputation cites, but I'll let it slide.
She struggles to conjure up a comeback and simply shrugs. Damek approaches Grise's desk and waves us all over. It isn't much longer until we're all cramped together.
Grizz, I'd like to introduce you to the seer.
I take a step forward and offer my hand to Grizz. He rises from his chair and gives my hand a firm shake.
It's an honor to meet you, Seer. And those two must be your friends.
Nah. Uh-oh. I nod as he looks at Valessa and Fortaine.
Say, have you three been to Mazeo before? I can't put my finger on it, but you look familiar.
I shake my head as he promptly returns to his chair. He looks at all of us, one by one, and lets out a loud sigh.
Oh well, not that it matters anyway. I'd like to thank you all for coming to my office. Today we discuss the matter of Damek and the pirates.
Damek and the Pirates! It sounds like a terrible book.
What have you got for me, Grizz? Surely you have their demands laid out on the table.
Yes, of course. I made them write up their demands in private. I didn't want them influencing each other in any certain direction.
He points to the two pieces of paper resting on his table. They're turned upside down so nobody can read them.
Here's how this is going to work. Neither pirate knows which paper is theirs. Damek, you and your allies are to read each one. Afterwards, each pirate is to explain their demands out loud. This is to make sure they haven't gotten greedy or changed their mind. We also need some witnesses, which is why I had you bring some friends. At that point, Damek may converse with his allies. When a decision is made, we will both sign the chosen demands. To avoid any conflict, neither pirate will learn if they were chosen.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll agree to that.
When everybody leaves, the demands will be mailed back. The pirate that receives a signed paper today will know they were chosen. There is no time for drama or infighting on my property. Understand?
Yay! I'm the seer, notary of agreements between pirates and mayors.
I understand.
Damek looks over at Nada and Alex, awaiting their approval.
Yeah, I understand.
I'll just fight you later.
Me too.
Damek places his hand on a desk, turning over the papers. Before taking action, he turns his head toward me.
Seer, I'd like your input on this. You're no stranger to tough decisions, right?
Well, recently, yeah. Before it was just like, hey, I've got to sit here and do nothing, but now everyone wants me to make these choices for them. But sure, put another thing on my plate, Damek.
I'd like to see how you think about this kind of stuff. You must have had some reason to keep Peregrina, right? I'd like to see your process, for the lack of a better word.
Oh, he heard about that, huh? Not happy? I nod and walk up to the test, standing beside him. We stare down at the two papers, hesitant.
You may begin the first phase. Remain silent, but read the papers over.
A few moments later, Damek grabs one of the papers. He inches closer to me and slowly turns it around. It's Alex's offer. How do we know? I thought they didn't put their names on it. He wants the trade bans to be lifted from Mazeo. If this is done, the pirates must all be offered jobs in the Mazeo shipping company. Piracy will be no more, and Mazeo will be turned into a nation of free trade. In exchange, he can offer the ships and crew to those who side with him. This makes up approximately 35% of the total pirates in Mazeo. He cannot guarantee how Nada's followers will react to this change. Damek places the paper down and quickly grabs the other one. So Nada has 66% of the pirates? Oof. That's a toughie. That's the rub. That's like, what's the catch? And I was like, that's what I was thinking to myself. It's like, what's the catch? Because it's like Alex seems like, oh yeah, Alex is awesome. Alex is the one. Yeah, Alex is great. And it's like, oh, but he's only has 35% of the pirates on his side. Great. He shows no expression, wearing the perfect poker face. Turning the paper around, it's time to see the other half. It's Nada's offer. She wants Mazeo to be divided into two. If this is done, all the pirates will move to a new nation out of Mazeo's way. Of course, she must be declared head of the new pirate nation. Furthermore, her demands include more details about the division of Mazeo. It's done in a fashion that gives both sides equal market and residential space. Mazeo currently owns all this, so it would be negatively affect the nation. In exchange, she can offer approximately 65% of the total pirates in Mazeo. This includes a massive arsenal of ships, making Alex's offer seem inconsequential. Both demands share one thing in common. Pirates and criminal records are to be wiped. Damek places the second paper face down and shrugs.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Grizz nods.
Indeed. We can move on to phase 2. Alex and Nada, it's your turn to step forward. Your verbal demands must match the papers.
In response to Grizz's order, they both step forward. This whole thing seemed incredibly well thought out, or redundant. There was no room for error in any possible way.
My demands are quite simple, actually. All pirates will have their criminal records erased. Furthermore, the trade bans will be lifted from Mazeo. Pirates will be publicly pardoned and no longer ostracized. They will be offered jobs within the Mazeo shipping company. Our clients, our cargo, and our trade routes will all carry over as well. This will reintroduce us to society and legitimize all of our efforts. Mazeo will be free as it once was, and as it always should be. In exchange, I offer 35% of Mazeo's pirates and their ships.
He takes a few steps back, crossing his arms. Nana scoffs before vocalizing her demands.
I can offer the other 65%. I think that puts me a cut above Alex.
This certainly gets a reaction from the others in the room. However, we can't get one over the numbers. We are deciding on the future of Mazeo.
I also want all criminal records expunged. However, my other demands are a bit more extreme. I want Mazeo divided in half. I want a new nation born. All pirates will be moved to this new nation under my lead. Mazeo will no longer be able to interfere with our work. I will determine where the nation is split in half.
Wow. That's a bit harsh. That last one, I don't know.
I want both residential and commercial land. We will be given everything we need to live happily. That is my demand. A new nation built for piracy.
She steps back, content with what she said. Grice turns to Damek and myself again.
Does that align with the demands on paper?
Yes, I believe it does. What was the next step again?
You may take some time to think. Talk with your allies, and then give me an answer.
Oh, right, sorry.
Hey,
My
Summer,
mind
how's
is
it
all
going?
over the place. There's no need to think. I already have my answer.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, of course. This one was simple for me.
He crosses his arms and turns to face me.
Well, what about you? Who would you choose?
Alright, guys, who would you choose? I think this one's simple, I think. Most people, I think, I know where we're going with this one. This is not like... Though, of course, you know, she does have a lot of pirates. Hey, Ganovo, you're just in time to vote for who we should have the demands for. So, if you just joined, Alex's demands are both Nada and like either one we choose. Pirates' criminal records are expunged. Alex's unique demands are no more trade bans. Pirates will all work for the legit shipping company of Mazeo, etc., etc. He has 35% of his resource, or 35% of the fleet behind him, or pirate fleet behind him. Nada, on the other hand, wants to divide the nation into two separate sections, the pirate section and the regular folk section, but wants them to have equal shares of that land. But she has 65% of the pirate force behind her. So what is the one we're going to choose, Alex or that? So we got one Alex. Summer's like Nada's, really. Summer's like divide Mazeo. You give 65%. 65% of the fleet's not too much to scoff at. Well, to me, personally, I mean, to me, it's not too much of a thinker there. The thing is, like, right now, with piracy being a thing, with piracy being outlawed, with all this situation going on, with certain goods being banned, piracy is probably thriving on a major point because of the law in place. It's sort of like, you know, prohibition with alcohol and things like that. You have like your bootleggers, your speakeasies, etc., etc. And it's like, well, when prohibition's no longer a thing, those speakeasies just become bars, right? It's like, it's not like speakeasies go away, they just become legitimate bars and function as bars. So, like, it's interesting that Alex is claiming, oh, well, you'll get 35% of the fleet. And it's like, well, it's like you don't think you're going to win over any pirates to your side by making this deal, right? It's like, oh, we can be legitimate now and you got our records expunged thanks to Alex's demands? Oh, well, like, sure. Like, there's not going to be any pirates that are going to, like, switch sides or any of this over this decision? Like, to me, it just seems... Well, Nadas's thing kind of also reminds me of something else, which is separate but equal. And it's like, that's really tough to pull off. Like, especially, like, because then it's like, you have neighbors looking over at the other side of the fence going, well, they have it better than I do, and you have it better than I do, and, like, so it gets rather persnickety, too. So it's like, having a separate pirate nation versus Mazeo, I don't see any benefit to it, really. It's like, why? Why would you want to do that? I don't know. Alright, so we have Alex going once. Alex going twice. I point to the paper with Alex's demands. Demick laughs and gives out a wide smile.
Great minds think alike, I suppose. Good to know we have the same idea. Let's sign this one, Grizz. It's my final choice.
He points to the same paper and Grizz brings out the quill. They waste no time in signing it, making it an official decree. After that, Grizz rolls both papers up and seals them with wax.
Nada, Alex, thank you both for your kind offers. I'll have these mailed back to you right away. You'll know within a few hours, I'm sure.
Sounds good to me.
This one's as good as mine.
You can't make any noise. After saying their final words, they both leave, and awkward silence overtakes the room.
You're all free to talk again, you know. We just didn't want Alex and Nada to know Domek's choice.
After hearing that, everyone's at ease. Talking amongst themselves, they theorize who he chose.
Well, Domek?
Who did you choose?
Oh, you'll find out soon enough. Sorry for this little detour, everybody. We can make our way back to HQ now. Though I think we should cut through the docks. It's crowded, but it will make for a nice shortcut. We're already running behind schedule.
He sneers at Pro, who quickly backs off. Ulrich takes the message as well, and stops asking.
I hope you got what you needed, Domek. Attacking Balteus will be no easy feat.
We'll be more than fine, Grizz. I trust you can handle things from here?
Of course. But there may be some contempt coming. Don't be surprised if Alex or Nada comes fuming to you.
Of course. Thank you so much, Grizz. We couldn't do this without you.
Don't worry about it. Just make sure I don't regret this. Crossing the Triumvirate is a bad idea.
You won't, I promise. If you'll excuse us, though, we need to go. I still have to give them the grand tour after all.
By the way, everyone who showed up late, there's a Lillian character out in the front there. She pronounces triumvirate triumvirate. And it's great, and it was funny. Because I'm like, wait a minute. So if you ever have a chance, go back to the beginning of the video. Because it's funny. It's like me pronouncing Doreen, or Dorian, apparently. It's pronounced Dorian, not Doreen. Which is what I was calling the hurricane in my last video, which is also kind of funny. Grizz nods and it seems we're dismissed. I guess we head back. I guess our next step was to head back to the docks. Domek sure seems excited about this tour.
All right, let's go. I'll make the announcement back at HQ. We have a new ally and a lot more power.
Our morale's at 100, baby. He holds a closed fist to his chest, resolute.
We're going to do this. I know it.
We can do it! And with that, it's time for things to get moving. I'd finally start training and see the rebellion's new HQ. Unlocked Fates of Mazeo. I'm surprised there's no books in here. I mean, there's books in here, but there's no books in here. I start the inspector, but Grice quickly stops me.
Hey, don't touch any of that. This is my office, you know.
He crosses his arms and I back away from the shelf. Something tells me I wouldn't want to get on his bad side. Grice's desk reminds me of Milas's place. It's messy, but he still has it under control. Everything is where it needs to be and it works. It's a map of Alestia. I see everything on here. Belenorth, Mazeo, Elaranthia, and Bolterius. Only the west remains unmapped. Vicious storms and unruly waters get in the way. It's unlikely that anything's out there, though. Lies! There's probably something out there because you mentioned it.
Hey, Grizz?
Yes?
Yes, buddy man.
What's with that sheep around your neck?
Bah.
Oh, you mean Lassiter?
I guess?
When
Oh,
I
that's
was
a sheep.
younger, I used to be a shepherd. But that didn't last long before I served the Triumvirate. They made me kill all my sheep before they accepted me.
What?
I guess it was to prove myself. You know, that I'd leave my old life behind. I did what they said, but I kept a souvenir.
He has to remember that he was bad. No.
Oh. I see.
It's always important to remember where you came from. Did you bring any souvenirs from Valenorth along with you?
Nope.
Actually, no. Unless my clothes count.
Depends who you're asking.
But, you know, I'm not actually leaving Valenorth behind. We'll save it, and go back one day. I know it. That's one of our goals during this journey.
I see.
Alright. Let's move to page 2. Yeah, sure, why not? Even though I just did that. Return. Yeah, I had to do it. There's a sheep. You have to make a joke. You have to make bad decisions. Map. To the docks. When we arrive at the docks, we finally get an up-close view of everything. Oh, by the way, let me click save here for a second. Alright, that did count as a purity decision. For Alex there. That was kind of an obvious one, though. This one was like, yeah, she's evil and he's not evil. Like, that one was not like oh, I don't understand why this is a thing. Oh, Fontaine? I don't know. He is a meek little bunny rabbit. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if anyone ends up dead. I don't think anyone died in the last game in Major Minor, did they? I don't think anyone died. When we arrived at the docks, we finally got an up-close view of everything. It's a massive shipyard with vessels both arriving and also departing. People run in every direction, a mixture of workers and pirates. Because the pirates are probably pretty obvious, you know. Oh yeah, that's right, we did kill some. Yeah. Yes. It was what's his name? That Rook guy? The guy with the tablet. Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. It is Rook the Ferret. I suppose that we share the same workspace. It's interesting how I can discern a pirate from their clothes and demeanor. After a few steps in the shipyard, we're surrounded by a ton of people. And by the way, the funniest thing is, like, my character has never seen a pirate before, and yet it's like, yeah, that's a pirate.
Hey, stick close to me. Wouldn't want to get lost, right?
He inches closer to me as we make our way through the shipyard. It must have been their busy hour or something, because we can barely move. People bump into us and apologize before moving on their way.
We're heading to that bridge up there.
He points forward to a bridge in the distance. At this rate, it would take hours to get there. Fontaine lets out an exasperated sigh.
Seriously? How much longer is this gonna be?
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Fontaine. We'll be able to rest before you know it. Enjoy the journey. Mazeo is beautiful.
Alright.
Keep your pants on, shorty. Fontaine continues walking, defeated. As we inch our way forward, we start to lose hope. However, it isn't long before hope is rekindled again.
Hey, Tomek!
Uh-oh. A voice shouts from up high, and we turn to look. There's a man at the top of the ships, acting as a lookout. That's the first time I've ever heard the word man used in this. I don't know how to feel about that. After seeing Dominic, he makes his way towards all of us. He slides down a ladder, quickly making his way up to the surface. Standing on the edge of the ship, he grips the railing tight.
Where have you been? Feels like I haven't seen you in ages.
He jumps over the edge of the ship, landing on the ground with style. I could tell he's a pirate, and he must be another ally, which is good. A human, yeah. Human! Yeah, man is short for human, so, like, sort of a weird noun to use for it. Like, I can tell he's a pirate, and he must be another ally. That was good. And in the upcoming battle, we need as many allies as possible.
Grayson, it's so good to see you again. Don't worry, it's nothing personal. I'm just busy. We've been cooking up something really special.
Special, huh? Well, that's all you have to say. You know I've got your back in everything.
Oh my. Damek steps closer and whispers in Grayson's ear. No doubt he's confiding in Grayson about our recent choice.
Oh, an alliance? Beautiful. We'll be working together more then. And I must say, you made a fine decision, Damek.
He smiles and makes an interesting signal with his arms. A few moments later, a bunch of people in our way quickly move.
Gotta get back to the church, I'm guessing? Sorry about my crew. They're good at getting in the way. In fact, I'm not sure what else they're good for these days.
Between every few words, he glances behind Damek. His eyes shift between Valessa, Fontaine, and myself.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, sorry, not at all. You just looked familiar, that's all. Like some pirates Nada used to work with.
Familiar? Chris said the same thing, actually. Just one of those faces, I guess.
Not just any faces, mind you. I was taken aback because you looked like legends. A few infamous pirates from back in the day, you know?
Pirates? No relation, I assure you.
Nix that, Valessa. He said back in the day, we were all originally from this town, and we basically ran away during the occupation, right? Your parents could have been pirates, you don't know. Come on, man. She laughs and Grayson nods.
Yeah, just a small world.
It's a small world, yeah. It seems like he's unsure if that's an insult or not. And for that matter, so does Valessa. Grayson lets it slide. A few moments later, he climbs up a netting on the other side of the ship. It isn't much longer until he's back to the top of the mast, looking out. He shouts to his crew, and they move aside, leaving us an open trail. Were all these pirates in his crew? He must have been a man of great there's a word again. Of great influence.
It's always good to have friends in high places.
On a crow's nest, you mean? Sure. There's still people wandering about the shipyard, but not as many as before. Grayson? What game show is that, Ganovo? There's still people wandering about the shipyard, but in fact, we'd be able to continue forward without any issue at all.
That was Grayson. We go way back. He's a great ally, and he'll have our back no matter what. I doubt he cares whether we sided with Alex or Nada.
So, what? He's a pirate, and he is neutral to Alex or Nada? So what was this whole, like, 35%, 65% nonsense? Like, does Grayson not have, like, any percentage of the pirates behind him? I mean, math? Math! That was good. Your pun flu. I have a pun flu. That was good. His crew seemed massive. But not any more than 1% of the pirates. The ship was as well. It was in pristine condition.
Well then, on we go?
Now we've already played a pirate furry game. We don't need to play another one. As he talks, he motions about the bridge once more. We give each other some space, happily to move freely once again. I guess we could resume our journey without any struggles. Alright. Sovi 5. Sovi and his crew wandered the crowded docks of Mazeo. They stuck close together to ensure that Shane didn't run away. Close to the rebellion's home, Sovi was sure it crossed his mind.
Well, you sure seem a lot happier. Back on the boat, all you did was mope around.
Salvi scoffed, turning his face to his apprentice.
Seasickness, I suppose. As old as I am, I've never really gotten used to it.
You can't be too much older than me.
Right. Sorry.
Besides, I think I know what's going on. You realize something about the triumvirate.
Yes, I did. I see through that trick now. It was a good idea, I'll give them that.
Trick?
Yes, to put my loyalty to the test. There's no way what they told me was true. They merely want to see if I'll waver.
I see.
That's why they wouldn't tell you either. This was a test, meant only for me.
So, what happens now that you've passed?
I guess I'll find out once we return. I'm just glad that I can focus on the mission now.
Right, I'm glad too, I suppose.
Oops. He said something else there. After a few minutes of walking, Salvi stops in his tracks. Hallen and Shane bump into his back, causing him to stumble over.
Master?
Oh, sorry. Just a lot on my mind.
And in my stomach, and he's about to toss his cookies.
Oh, we're not lost, are we?
Salvi stares at the cloaked figures at the distance. He smirks as he watches them walk through the docks with the group. A large item affixed to their back sways with each of their heavy steps. Ah, he sees me! No! Go away! Go away, Salvi! Go away!
No, not at all.
Uh-oh. I got spotted.
Hey,
What do you think of Mazeo so far?
it's interesting, to say the least. It's a lot busier than I thought it would be. It makes Valenworth look dead by comparison. I'm actually longing for that peace again, though. This place is chaotic. There's so much going on. Hopefully the Rebel HQ will be a bit like home.
What do you think of Dominic?
He seems to know what he's doing. I mean, I had some doubts going into this, actually, but he's proven himself to be a capable leader. I like how charismatic he is, you know? It's a lot easier to follow somebody like that. Some people demand respect. He earns it.
What are your thoughts on Pro?
To be honest, I'm actually not sure. He seems nice, but I have my doubts. There's just something about him, you know?
Like he's a backstabbing thief?
It doesn't help that he likes to cheat people. That's probably it. He is on our side, though, so I doubt we have to worry about him cheating us.
What do you think about Ulrich?
He's the strongest person I've ever met. I'm sure he'll be protecting us a lot in the future. I don't really have anything bad to say about him. He can be stern, but he has the best intentions. I mean, he has no patience for wasting time.
Kind of like...
I'm in for it to make an interesting combo.
A mixture between Amsterdam and Venice. That's pretty nice, actually. How are things between you and Fontaine?
Pretty good, actually. I was worried. You know, about some of the choices you had to make. We've never really let them get between us, though. Unless there's something he's not telling me, but I doubt it. He's always been fully open with me in the past. I wouldn't worry about anything at all, Seer.
Alright, back to the map. The Church of Mazeo. You chose the treaty with Alex. Ah, okay. After what feels like ages, we finally reach the end of the bridge. We all stop to catch our breath and let our legs relax. Dominic wipes some sweat from his brow, laughing.
Bit of a workout, isn't it? Hopefully the trek was worth it. So, what do you think of our home?
It's pretty pious. He stands proud, standing at the nearby church. After getting our bearings back, we looked on and all. Yeah, this background's pretty bad. This background's pretty cool. I wonder who they got to draw the backgrounds.
This place is crazy. I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, it sure stands out, doesn't it? Don't worry, that works to our advantage. When hiding, I find the most obvious spot is the best.
I guess they'd never expect their own church. But here's a question. Why are there only 2 statues? It's the triumvirate, right? Shouldn't there be 3?
I don't know, actually. It's a bit odd when you think about it. Maybe they didn't have enough space?
He laughs, awkwardly shuffling in place. Or maybe because you can make it parallel out of 2, but not out of 3. Hey, Nova, how's it going? Slightly Notre Dame-ish. He laughs awkwardly, shuffling in place. Perhaps he found his ignorance embarrassing.
I trust you're ready for the grand tour?
I nod and look over to Valessa and Fontaine. It seemed our long journey was over. We were here. This was our new home, whether we liked it or not.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
I'm game. Let's do this.
They both smile, ready to get things moving. Dominic takes a few steps up the stairs and waves me over.
After you, of course. It would be rude to do this any other way. An esteemed guest of ours should always be first.
I nod and get ready to enter the church. Ulrich, Pro, Valessa, and Fontaine wait for my move. It seems almost everybody respected Amek's authority.
Hey.
Pro, anything else you could tell me about Mazeo?
Not really, to be honest. You've already seen pretty much all it has to offer. It's constantly busy, and it never really stops.
It's doing pretty good. Nova?
I can't even imagine living close to the docks. They work overnight, so it'd be too loud to sleep. The best places are either Grizz's area or our HQ. So maybe we can talk more about that once you see it. It's so silent underground you can hear almost everything. Makes it pretty easy to sleep. If you get the time, that is.
What are your thoughts on Valessa?
She's pretty cool. Seems to be pretty by the book. I mean, I don't see her breaking any laws or anything. I don't roll like that. Obviously, I live in a moral gray area. That's not to say she's uninteresting, though. I just don't see myself getting too close to her. It's better for me to stick to like-minded people.
Oh, cool. Furball.
Who knows?
Furballs are interesting.
Maybe she'll prove me wrong. War has
I
its
should go
way of
bowling sometime.
compromising almost everybody. I was born into this life, but I'm sure others can adapt to it.
What do you think about Fontaine?
Now, he's a guy I could see myself getting along with. Can't wait to spend some more time with him in our HQ. He speaks his mind, he's energetic, and he's careless. Wait, am I talking about him or myself right now? Yeah, you get the idea. We're like peas in a pod. I'm sure we'll have no shortage of good times.
What are your thoughts on me?
Whoa, you sure like putting me on the spot. I think you're cool. I mean, from what I've seen. At first, I didn't really have a clue, but it's better now. You've had to make some tough decisions, Seer. That's one way to gain my respect. Push through adversity. I still want a one-on-one interview with you in the future, though. It seems like you're starting to become quite important. I'd hate myself if I missed the opportunity to probe your mind. That's something we can talk about later on, though. We're busy.
How often do you walk this far?
Well, pretty much every day. Except for the last couple of weeks, since I was in Valinor. It's not too bad once you get used to it. I absolutely adore walking.
He likes
It
his
just
walkies.
takes some getting used to, that's all. Sometimes when I have it in me, I can even sprint. Running to the market from our HQ is pretty intense. Nobody is interested in doing it with me, though. I need a workout partner to keep things interesting, you know? Everybody else defines working out as sparring in the barracks.
Well, pro is kind of like being, I don't really know you, but I think you're cool. Like, it's sort of like, I don't know, man. Don't ask me. Don't put me on the spot like that. Yep. Convention's coming. Gryce 3. Gryce sits at his desk with his head in his hands, emotionally drained. Lilith enters his office, showing concern, but decides to talk business instead.
Grizz, sir. The papers have been sent back out. Alex and Nada should know momentarily.
Slightly shocked, Gryce shakes his head and rests his hands on his desk.
Thank you, Lilith. I couldn't do this without you.
You give me too much credit. I'm just a glorified paper pusher. You do all the heavy lifting, you know.
He sighs and rests back in his chair.
And it's starting to weigh down on me. Lilith, can we talk off the record for a moment?
Of course, sir. Anytime you'd like.
Yep, I was able to get a room. So, I will be there for sure.
It's about the occupation. As you know, I was involved with it.
Yeah, but that was ages ago. It's all in the past. You're a better man now.
Am I?
That's the funny thing about the past, Lilith. It always has its way of catching up with you.
See, now, you know how Golden Body said that he thought Fontaine was going to die? That's the sort of wordage that you use in literature right here that's like, this character's going to die. Gryce, you're going to die.
What do you mean?
He's going to die.
Honestly, I wouldn't know where to start. But recently, Damek agreed to work with me. I wanted exclusive access to Mazeo's spirit idol.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing about, yeah, and unfortunately with the whole, I could probably do a video on that. But I would like to try to make it so that it could be like a lessons learned kind of a thing. Or do a write-up on the whole lottery thing. Because that one, it kind of caught me off guard too. Because it's like, okay, how does all this stuff work? And like, there was little bits here and there, and they had a website. But it's like, still, it's a learning experience for sure for everybody on how this is supposed to work.
You lost me.
I want to atone for what I've done, Lilith. So many spirits trapped in those suits of armor. An eternity of mindless servitude to the triumvirate.
There's a lot of hotels that are not part of the room blocks that the lottery covered. Like, there's the Hilton, which is like actually the closest thing to the convention center. The Hyatt's not the closest thing. And then there's the Embassy, which is also pretty close to the convention center, which is also not part of the block. So, like, those two, like, if people go for those two, like, they can probably get some good stuff.
And you can fix that with the spirit idol?
I hope so. Part of me always had some doubt, but today, I realized that this is my destiny. I can't doubt it or hide from it any longer.
Destiny? I'm not sure I buy into that stuff. I'd rather call the shots myself, you know?
Well, maybe purpose is a better word. At the end of the day, this is still my choice. But I wasn't certain until today. I saw something.
What did you see?
A seer.
Back during the occupation, I killed so many innocent people.
Oh,
made
he saw
orphans
us.
out of so many children.
Yep, he's gonna reveal. Are you gonna reveal that you killed our parents? You did it.
I've been facing that for the last 20 years, but today was the first time I faced it in person. It's the seer and those two companions he had with them.
Yep.
You mean Valessa and Fortem?
Yep.
Yes, Lilith, all three of them. I couldn't put my finger on why they looked familiar, but I just realized it. And I know I need to take action.
You killed our parents. My name is Emilio Montoya. Graves killed my father. Prepare to die. He places his hand on his head back in his hands, almost ashamed.
Spitting images of people I killed during the occupation. I have no doubt in my mind that their parents died by my hand. I played a part in condemning them, forcing them into this war.
He clenched his fists, trembling, as he looks up at Lilith.
And now, I must play my part in ending it. I'm going to those tunnels, right now.
I love how the algorithms blocked the Montoya quote. Bonnie, I had to approve it. That's funny. Uncultured algorithms. Come on now. Yeah, okay, so we found out he killed our father. As soon as we enter, Dominic walks down the center aisle. Oh, someone getting married. He trails a finger along the pews as he does, gathering up dust.
Not much time for triumvirate worship these days.
No one's getting married either. He makes his way to the spirit idol and back to the back of the church. Clasping his hands together, he frees himself of the dust.
This is the spirit idol of Mazeo. Or so we thought until recently.
He remains dust-free, unlike the rest of the church. He places a hand on the altar, looking up at the idol.
We assumed it was dim and dying. You know, like the idol back in Valinor. But that's not the case at all. We were shocked. The reason it's dim is because it's receiving power. However, the source of the power is deep underground. That's what the Triumvirate has been digging for. The entire reason for their occupation. And now, it's in the hands of the rebellion. First their sword, now the idol they sought.
He turns back to face us with a wide smile on his face.
It would seem the tables are turning. Feel free to rest for a few minutes. There's still a bit of a walk ahead.
Seriously? More walking? When are we gonna get to rest?
Trust me, you'll get plenty of time to rest. Just take a breather before we continue.
He points to the pews before walking over to a door in the back corner.
This door will lead us to the tunnels here. It's the final stretch, I can promise you that. Whenever you're ready, let's head on down.
He presses his back against the wall and crosses his arms. Everyone seems glad that he was offering us a brief reprieve. I take a few minutes to collect myself before we head down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a heart thing, but it's with both of them? That's kind of weird. Alright, so we're going to do the other stories first, and then we're going to do the love thing last. Savi 6. Is he following us up to the church? Continuing their adventure through the docks, Sabi comes close to Shane. Leading everyone into a secluded back alley, he lets out a loud sigh. It was nice to get away from all the noise. Mazeans were obnoxious.
What gives? This isn't the way to Valinor. But I guess you do like going backwards.
It says 6 people are watching right now.
Oh, we'll get there yet. I just have some business to tend to. Shane, can I talk to you alone for a moment?
Shane nods and follows Savi deeper into the alleyway. Helen takes the note and stands guard, ensuring their privacy.
Look, something important has come up. You're aware of our moles within the rebellion, right?
Alleged moles.
Yes. Well, I found this at our drop point. I think it's something you'll be interested in.
Savi holds up a letter, prompting Shane to take it.
It's a letter written by Dominic. Why is this important?
Just read it, Shane. It's from Damek to Valnorth's Elder. It seems your capture was just part of his plan.
What?
Shane keeps reading the letter, his eyes shooting wide open. Every word was like a knife in his heart. He was betrayed.
He wanted me to get captured? Look at this. It says he hates me.
Didn't they? Yeah, they forged this, didn't they? I think that was something they did.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but your mission was only a cover. He wanted to kill you off, Shane.
That's not true. I
That's
refuse
impossible.
to believe this. I know Damek. He wouldn't do this to me.
Are you sure about that? It makes sense when you think about it. He sent you there to gain intel, right?
Yeah.
He already had all the intel he needed. That was the purpose of the Exodus raid. They mapped out our entire castle, Shane. What intel is there left for you to gather? None. Damek just wanted you out of the way.
No.
We were merciful enough to give you a chance, Shane. We could have killed you, but we still found value in your life. I think that's way more than anything Damek can say.
It really does look like his handwriting.
Hey, Johnson! How's it going out there, Johnson? What's the weather like in Charlotte, South Carolina today?
I have no reason to lie to you, Shane. I know what it's like to have your world torn apart. It seems like all hope is lost, doesn't it?
What should I do?
You were planning to run away, weren't you? Maybe you thought you could lose us in the crowd? It's a good idea, but there's no home left for you there.
Why did you wait until now to show me?
Because I have a favor to ask of you, Shane. And remember, I would never abandon you. I've had every opportunity to kill you.
Yeah, that's assuring.
A favor?
Savi takes the letter while he's watches Shane fight back tears. It's a hard thing to accept being disowned by your family, but it was a pain that Savi knew all too well. He could relate. He didn't respond just yet. He watched a silent rage build up within Shane. That would be perfect, for rage was an invaluable tool on the battlefield. With a smirk, Savi finally broke his silence, placing a hand on Shane.
Don't worry. I'll still let you visit Damek and the rebels. It's just, I have something different in mind for you. A chance to pay him back, if you'd be so inclined.
Shane's fists tremble in anger. In this moment, he was right where Savi wanted him.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Betrayal! Betrayal!
Hey,
What do you think of Mazeo so far?
It's crazy. I don't know what to think. Just when I'm comfortable, something new is thrown at us. The markets, the residential districts, and the docks. Valinor is pretty much the same no matter where you are. To see things so different, that's a real
The
shocker
dark
for
side
me.
has cookies.
I'm not sure what my favorite part has been so far. If I had to choose, though, I'd say the residential district. Being able to live free from the noise and free of work, that's like a dream come true. Everywhere is so noisy. I assume you get used to the noise, but it's still there. You know what I mean, right? You just learn to ignore it. I'd rather not have to do that. It'd make things way easier.
It is actually quite easy. Like I've lived near train tracks. I've always lived like about a block from train tracks. I don't hear trains much out here as I did in Syracuse, but I live near an airport now, so that's a thing. Every once in a while you hear. What do you think of Damek?
He's so cool. I love being around him. I want to learn to be more like him, if I'm honest. Everybody respects him and follows his directions. He's going to make a fine leader after this is over. I actually doubted the rebellion, but he convinced me. This cause is in perfect hands. We're going to do this.
What are your thoughts on Pro?
I didn't trust him at first, but he's growing on me. I know he does a lot of shady things, but only out of necessity. I have no doubt in my mind that after the war is over, he'll change.
What do you think about Ulrich?
Ulrich is probably my favorite person so far. I mean, he gave me free money earlier. Free! It's all thanks to him that I got to taste a Mazean apple. That's the one thing I was looking forward to. He's been nothing but friendly since we met him. Sure, he seems strong, but he's really gentle. Who would have thought that a guy like him has a soft side? Either way, yeah, Ulrich has been great. He's teaching me a lot. Maybe one day I might even learn how to use a greatsword like him.
Yeah, good luck with that. How do you feel about the rebellion?
I feel great. There's not much to say. We have everything we need in order to win. I can't wait to see our new HQ, our new home.
Alright, so let's save the game. Alright, guys.
Hey, Fortum.
Yeah?
I saw you and Nasir run off into an alley earlier. What were you two doing back there exactly?
Uh-oh. Busted!
Oh, we were on a date!
Busted.
What? Seriously?
Whoa, don't act so surprised. You might hurt me.
No, it's not that. There's just so much going on. Are you sure that won't interfere with anything?
Of course not. I think we're smarter than that. Besides, it was perfect. We shared a Mazean apple.
Wow, how romantic.
You had to be there.
I think I'll pass. It's good to see you enjoying yourself, though. There's just too much on my mind for that kind of stuff.
Just wait until we get to the Rebel HQ, Valessa. It'll be a life of luxury, you'll see. There'll be plenty of time.
We can dream.
Travel to the Rebel HQ. Yep. So there wasn't really any choice. That was more like a... Oh, wow. It's another map. Whew. Tunnels. After we entered the door, we spend a few minutes descending into darkness. Darkness. Darkness, darkness, darkness. Soon enough, however, we reach an area with torches that light the way. It seems to mark a path straight forward. This must be it.
Wow, it's so dark. I can't even see where I'm going.
Just give it a few minutes. Your eyes will adjust. I remember my first time down here. I was terrified.
He presses his back against the wall and waits. We all do the same and wait around until we can see.
The torches only help so much. We put a majority of them in our actual HQ. Basically, we only have them down here to...
He cuts himself off and looks farther down the tunnel.
Everyone quiet. Backs against the wall. Now!
We do as instructed, and I notice an aura of fear overtake us. I stare down the tunnels, and I see a suit of armor starting to emerge. White and gold, just like my vision. It takes slow and clunky steps. 85 degrees in Charlotte, woo! I look over at Valessa and Fontaine. She's fine, and he's shaking. He glances back at me, and I nod, letting him know that things will be fine. It isn't much longer until the suit of armor reaches our location. It stands between all of us as we press our back against the wall. It's almost like it can't see. It has no idea we're here. That's odd. It even turns its head to the sides, looking straight at us without reacting. After a minute or two of standing our ground, it turns and walks away. Its steps echo through the tunnels, loud, metallic, and hollowing. It's frightening. But when it's far enough away, we all sigh and stand at ease. We're safe now.
What was that?
The Triumvirate's honor guard. They're the ones that built this underground complex. We find it best not to interfere with their efforts in any way.
Why is that?
They're almost like caretakers, so we let them be. All we know for sure is that they're disobeying their masters.
Really?
Yeah, at least that's what it seems like. Rather than search for the idol, they built a utopia. I think that was the choice of the spirits inside them.
Spirits?
Yeah, they were created by the Blade of Exodus. The spirits inside are victims of their vicious occupation.
Right. Then it's just like the seer said. Wait, victims of the occupation?
Yeah, it's sad, really. They want to live again, so they built a home.
Oh, our parents are making us a home after their death. Isn't that sweet? Melissa looks sad and takes a few steps back. It doesn't take a genius to realize what she's thinking. Having been a few minutes, our vision has adjusted.
Sorry about that, everybody. Those things are brittle and weak. If we so much as bump them, they fall apart.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there's nothing inside. They're controlled purely by spiritual energy. They were strong at first, but they're weak now. It's almost like it degraded over time. Who knows, maybe we can even power them with that blade. A bit of irony, right? Use their own forces against them.
This is all so complicated.
Yeah, and I'll admit that even I don't know everything. But we won't get to that point if we don't keep moving.
He motions to the end of the tunnels.
So, shall we?
We all nod as we continue to move through the tunnels. However, Damek seems distracted. There's something on his mind. I guess even a man in his position can't have a grasp on everything. Everyone makes conversation amongst themselves as we continue. Perhaps it would be a good idea to talk to Damek a bit more. It seems like we have a bit of walking ahead of us after all. Ah, okay, you are here, Strangelove. How's it going? Alright, so there's a Damek with a heart symbol there, so we're gonna save the game here. And that was not one that was, that caused anything, so let's talk with Damek. Heart to heart 1, yes. As we walk down the tunnels, I make my way to Damek's side. I ask him what's on his mind, and the people behind us give us space. I'm thankful for their consideration as we finally get some one-on-one time.
What's on my mind? Oh, it's nothing too major. Say, can you keep a secret?
Well, I am a seer, not a speaker, I guess. Sure. So let's see what the options are. Of course I can, Damek. For you, anything. Depends on what it is. You didn't kill anybody, did you? Alright, guys. First real vote of the night. Well, actually, no. We chose between the two pirate people. So, go ahead and pick one. I think of course I can is the closest thing I said there. Oops. Don't mouse over it yet. I'm gonna go grab liquids. You guys can vote. Of course. For you, anything. Alright, of course, going once. Of course, going twice. Of course I can, Damek.
Oh, wonderful. It's nice to have someone to talk to.
He blushes and shuffles in place, embarrassed. I'm not sure why he trusted me so easily, but I'm not complaining. Sometimes it's hard for someone in a position of power to have confidants.
About that suit of armor earlier, I think I scared everybody with my caution. Between you and I, that was a bit of an exaggeration. Like I said, those things are brittle and weak. I just didn't want anybody to knock them over, you know. If we kill one of them, what happens to the spirits inside?
That was a good question, actually.
I want to find a way to free those spirits trapped inside. Something tells me that killing them won't accomplish that. This is the sole reason why I tell everybody to leave them alone. Oh, they're harmless. They mind their own business. It's my belief that we should give them the same courtesy. That is, at least until we find a way to give them more freedom.
You don't kill anyone. Yeah, you choose that for your playthrough. See, this is the cool thing about this. Is like it certainly is enough branches here that it's like it certainly warrants your own playthrough of it.
Though they don't serve the triumvirate, they're still trapped. Nobody should be forced into a position like that. They're just like us. Spirits of family and friends. Spirits of innocent occupation victims.
He lets out a loud sigh, like the ability to vent is a godsend. I could tell that this is something he's been keeping inside for a while.
Sorry for rambling on. I think I'm just trying to defend myself. Last week I accidentally bumped into one. It crumbled and fell to the ground. I felt absolutely awful. It's like I killed them. Who knows how many spirits were inside that one suit? I mean, in this war, I have to draw blood. I have to kill. But normally I reserve that punishment for our enemies. We're talking about the spirits of long-lost family here, Seer. I feel like I did something wrong. I almost feel like I'm a murderer, you know? It's odd how blurred those lines can be in war.
So when you note that you would have said, Ganovo, that you would have asked if you didn't kill somebody, did you? I could kind of see where that conversation would play out. Because basically he said, yeah, I felt like I did kill somebody.
Kill the enemy leader? You're nothing short of a hero. But kill a citizen going about their business? You're a monster. Maybe at the end of the day, that's what we are. Monsters.
Well, so I'm doing a blind response. And this is a hard thing to blind response to. There's nothing wrong in defending yourself against monsters, I guess would be the same thing. You're not a monster, Damek. You're more like a hero to me. It's a war. Morality is always gray. I think my response was closest to ... Alright, so we got you're not a monster, you're not a monster. My response was closest to morality is gray. You're not a monster going once. You're not a monster going twice. You're not a monster, Damek.
Maybe once this is all over, I'll believe that. I guess there's one big difference between us and them. When we rule the world, we'll stop killing. That's not us.
Until someone tries to kill you, of course. Like, that's always the thing, right? We continue walking down the tunnels while he vents. I can understand where he's coming from, and I can relate. It was all about the greater good, regardless of what we did.
Everybody expects me to lead us to victory. They call me a master strategist and shower me with praise. But at the end of the day, I'm just following in his footsteps. Salus was the master strategist. I just worked under him. They say I fill his shoes quite well, but I don't think that's true. I think they need something to believe in. They need hope. They pushed that need for hope onto me, and I became that hope. Honestly, I think I'm more of a symbol than anything else. I'm sure you know what I mean. You're the seer. You had this role thrust upon you whether you wanted it or not. It's kind of the same for me. I'm the general. I had no say in the matter. This pressure and all those expectations, I'm afraid I might break. Do you have any advice?
All right, blind answer. Do you have any advice? Find people you can trust and keep an open conversation. That's my advice. Let's share our burdens together, Damek. Be honest with people, confide in them too. I think you need to grow a thicker skin. Just wing it. What's the worst that can possibly happen? I don't know. I'm still figuring that out myself. I think be honest with people and confide in them too is probably the closest to the response that I gave just then. Alright, so seems like they're pretty much in agreement here, unless other people override. Well, on choices that might influence things, I will let people overwrite what I say, but my vote will be obviously the closest to what I say blindly. Because for one, it gives me time to stop and think about what. Because for one, it's always interesting to respond openly on it, and number two, it stalls for time because you guys have to vote anyway. So I think it works in that way. If I think the decisions or the choices don't really have any impact on the story, then I'll kind of like blind rush through it. Alright. Be honest going once. Be honest going twice. Winging it should be fun too, but yeah, I know, right? That is interesting.
You don't think that would make them doubt? Their mighty leader full of stress and worry. I only told you because I thought you could relate. But I guess honesty is the best solution. Maybe I should lower their expectations a bit, yeah? I'm just Dormek. I'm not some invincible symbol of hope. I guess there's not much more we can do, huh? Perhaps we'll have some more time to talk later on. My doors are always open to you, Seer. I promise.
He gives me a slight smile as we continue to walk. The end of the tunnel is growing ever closer. It seems like this leg of the journey was over. Alright. Let's head to the main entrance. As soon as we exit the tunnels, it's immediately easier to breathe. Sunlight pierces through the ceiling, with the surface in sight. Those tunnels must have started low and worked their way up. However, the exposure to the surface doesn't compromise our privacy. There's no way anybody would find this place unless they knew about it. And from what I could tell, only a few select did. So we were perfectly safe.
Ah, home sweet home. I'd like to welcome you all to our new HQ. It took some coercing with the mayor, but it's ours.
This place is incredible. And the honor guard built all of it?
Essentially, yeah. With a few finishing touches by ourselves, this is what they've been working on for 20 years.
That's crazy. All of those weapons, too. It's almost like they made it just for us.
We can dream, but I doubt it. Hey, Ulrich, Pro, can you show them around?
He motions towards Valesha and Fontaine.
Sure.
You got it, boss.
Pro is being overly polite, likely because to make it up to Damek. He sneers at Pro in reply, still a little upset about his slight delay. However, moments later, they all leave the room together. Damek turns to face me, with just the two of us in the lobby. A few rebels run from room to room, going about their business. I can tell from the way that they move that they didn't want to disturb us.
Well, what do you think? This is it. This is our home.
Quite the place you got here, man. That's my blind response. So cool, I'm in awe. Our home, you want to move in together already? You should have cleaned it for my arrival. A few more years of cleaning and it'll be in tip-top shape. I think maybe the jovial one was the closest to what I did. So yeah, it's cool. Hey, I would have actually said it was a bit dusty. It's a bit dusty, don't you think? I love the move in together. I gotta say, they've been giving us plenty of opportunities to flirt the heck with Damek, right? Probably the most opportunity to flirt with a character yet. Interestingly, like, I don't, now that I'm thinking about it, like, the responses here probably wouldn't have any impact on the relationship because it's not denoted as a relationship thing. Though then again, like, this is a entering the area scene, so this is not really. So yeah, that is sort of a curiosity because every time we enter a new area, we have these like one-off conversations that you really can't replay. So like, I don't know whether or not the conversations that happen in those segments impact anything, but I think anything that's repeatable does not. So like, if I have to click on a profile or anything like that, or watch one of those movies, that's not going to impact anything. Alright, it's cool, I'm in awe. Going once, it's cool, I'm in awe. Going twice.
I know, right? I thought the same thing. It's incredible that they made this.
He smiles and shuffles in place.
Well, time to start the grand tour. Let's see, where should we go first?
He places a hand on his chin, losing himself in thought.
Ah, of course. The library and the barracks.
He points to the two nearby doors.
The library is great for studying, and the barracks, that's for socializing. You'll definitely want to meet your new allies. So, let's start with those. After that, we can go to your personal quarters. That's right, all of you are getting your own rooms.
Get a room! We don't have to enter a lottery or anything? I mean, that's usually how this goes, right? My own room? That was pretty impressive. This place must go deeper than I thought. I nod and smile and I start to follow Damek. We're finally here. I feel like I could relax now. This entire journey has just been one thing after another. But now I can rest and have some privacy. I'll never take it for granted again. Whoa. The library and barracks can be accessed through this area. Use the map icons by the two doors to navigate to these optional areas. To move to your personal corner, you must return to the regional map. That was kind of a weird transition. Go to the library. Sure. When we enter the library, Damek rushes forward. He closes a few books and tidies the room as I catch up.
Terribly sorry about the mess. It was impolite of me to leave it this way.
After a few moments, he stops cleaning up. After a few, it didn't really bother me. He's just trying to make a good impression.
Well, there's not much to say about the library. As the dust would show, it doesn't get much use. But you'll find books here on pretty much everything. It's a great place to brush up on stuff you might be rusty on. It has a decent collection too. If it's out there, it's probably in here. Feel free to use it at your leisure. It's quite peaceful.
He smiles as he makes his way back to the main landing. The place is pretty big. I'm surprised they have so many books. It's almost a shame that they didn't get much use. Maybe I can change that. The Rebel HQ library contains every book you've read on your journey. Brush up on knowledge and check on the status of your collection. It's a great way to read books without revisiting older areas. Ah!
Instructions from Milas. The blurred lines of piracy.
So this is like... Oh, I missed one. Must be...
Milas' note.
So if I like click there and I go to the library, it's just gonna... Ah, okay. Gotcha. Is that the barracks right here? Go to the barracks, yes. We enter the barracks and Damek looks quickly around. There's a bunch of rebels practicing with swords. Those training dummies seem to get a lot of use.
Well, this is basically our training room. It's a great place to socialize as well. I'd consider if you can't find a comrade, they're probably in here. There's a bunch of seats at the back for when we eat meals. I guess that makes it a bit of a cafeteria too, doesn't it? Anyway, there's not much more to say. Make use of this room at your leisure. I'll meet you back outside when you're ready.
He makes his way back to the main hall. I stand watch as the rebels practice their swordplay. There's so many of them. They're really a sizable army. In this room, you can rewatch all your previous party banter. It's great to revisit content without having to go through a ton of old areas. Click the letters for a list of which party banter is located in which grid spot. I missed a book. Yeah, I know, right? There goes my... I might not have knowledge to do something. So is there like a C... Ah! So B3, Valessa's response, romance. So it looks like, yeah, there's going to be some like blank spots for that. Interesting. Alright, head back out. Go back to the main map. Personal quarters. We enter my personal quarters after a small trek through the HQ. It's larger than I thought it would be. The bed, as well, is quite big. There isn't much of a tour to be had, so Damek sighs in relief.
Well, that about ends the tour. After this, it's just the crew quarters and the war table. I imagine this is where you'll spend most of your spare time.
He walks to the back of the room and inspects the shelf on the wall. Moving books and papers aside, he seems a bit sad.
This room belonged to Shane. He was dear to me. I sent him on a dangerous mission to the Triumvirate's castle. He's been gone for a while, but I know he'll be back. I can feel it. So try not to get too comfortable, alright? This is just where you'll stay in the meantime. I wouldn't want Shane to think I forgot about him.
Oh, no. He's gonna give me Shane's room. I replaced Shane. And Shane's gonna kill me. Shane's gonna see me sleeping in his bed and he's gonna be like, they did replace me. I nod, that makes perfect sense, but I wonder why he was inspecting the shelf. He stopped empty-handed, so he didn't find what he wanted.
You deserve a lot of rest, at least for today. Just follow me for a little bit longer. We're almost done. I'll show you where your comrades are staying.
Sure, that'd be, let's see, blind response. Sure, that'd be great. Sure, let's keep touring around, I guess. Let's see. Of course, lead the way, Dominic. Come on, let me sleep already. Are you sure you don't want to spend some time alone first? Alright, let's continue. Jeez Louise, this game is really, like, trying to get you to... Like, this is, like, what? 7 times now? 6 times? 7 times? I don't know, like... It's like, games like, come on, you know you want to hit on Dominic. Come on. Lead the way, continue. So we have lead the way and 1 continue, actually. So those are actually 2 different responses. I think all right, let's continue was sort of the closest to what I had actually said. So you know what the funny thing is, like like one of the fun playthroughs of this, like when going back and doing this on my own time, would probably be like being like, you know, like the you know those videos when Mass Effect with like jerk Shepard, right? Like Shepard just like being completely a jerk to everybody. Like, see how that goes. Just like do aggressive punch responses to everything and see what happens. Alright, let's continue going once. Alright, let's continue going twice.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll meet you outside, Seer.
He walks back toward the door and waits outside. I guess it was time to finish the tour, finally. The crew quarters was our next stop. There's a hidden book in here. There's a bunch of scrolls on the books on the shelf. Must have belonged to the previous owner, Shane. As Demick mentioned, this used to be his quarters. Bit odd to have to give him away if he's still alive, though. After investigating a moment, I find his journal. The last entry is regarding his upcoming mission.
Shane's journal. Dominic has tasked me with something risky, but I know I can pull it off. I'd never let him down, and I truly owe him my life. He wants me to get caught on purpose. I know, it sounds stupid, but if I can get behind enemy lines, my insight could be invaluable. We know a lot about their castle, but we still know next to nothing about the Triumvirate themselves, let alone the forces of the Inquisition. This is my chance to expose them. So many questions, finally answered. I'll have to brush up on my acting and make it look like I'm actually getting caught. That'll require some planning, but I'll make sure that it seems natural. They'll likely starve me, or torture me, or worse. But I'll endure it. It's nothing new to me.
Yeah, right?
I've endured it all in the past before Dominic saved me and took me in. I'll survive it again for our cause. And for him. All for him.
So he was scared, but loyal to Dominic. Good thing Dominic isn't the type to take advantage of that. I'm sure Shane would carry out his goal just fine. Definitely. There's a table lined with pretty much everything I need. Seems like the room is equipped with stuff for a long stay. However, something told me I wasn't going to get much use of it. My training regiment would likely be intense. Early rise, late sleep, I could tell. I inspected the boxes, and there's full of food. Definitely stacked up for a long stay. Thankfully, it was stuff that wouldn't go bad too fast. I rummaged through it, impressed at the selection. Was this all provided by the honor guard? They didn't need to eat. Just what were they doing? Why are there candles so close to the bed? I can understand wanting to be warm, but fire hazard much? Maybe I'd blow them out if things got too concerning. Crew quarters. After exiting my room, he takes me to a large hallway. At the end of it is a grand door, surely leading somewhere important. Lining the sides are smaller doors. I assume they lead to more private rooms.
That door right there leads to the war table. That's the end of this tour. It's where things start. I'll go over our battle plan and give you an itinerary. Your training will commence tomorrow. I can't believe this is finally happening. It almost feels like a dream, you know.
He lets out a nervous laugh before turning to face the door.
Well, these doors on the side lead you to your comrades' rooms. Valessa and Fortane have been given personal rooms just like you. My quarters are here as well if you'd like to come spend time with me. I'm going to make a quick stop in my room, actually. After that, I'll meet you at the war table, alright? Take some time to unwind. You really deserve it. It's been a pleasure, Seer.
With a smile, he walks off to one of the side rooms. I guess that's the one I'd go if I wanted to see him. With some long-awaited free time, it might be a good idea. However, I should make sure I spend it wisely. As soon as I meet him at the war table, things would begin. And something told me that nothing would be easy moving forward. Use the region map to move to the war table and continue the story. For now, feel free to roam the world and access content at your leisure. Every unlocked character has heart-to-heart. Every unlocked character has a heart-to-heart in the crew quarters. Oh my! Well, this is about to get interesting, guys. So, first, you're going to vote for who we're going to visit first. And I'm going to save... oops, not that button. Crew quarters. There wasn't too much change. But there's certainly going to be a new save file after this one. Alright, so we have Fontaine first. One Fontaine first. I think that's Fontaine right there. It's hard to read the chibi icon sometimes. I think it's Valessa, Fontaine, Ulrich, Pro, that guy, and... Huh? Who are you? There is a 6-person... Wait, hold on, let me hit the save button here. There's an empty slot here. Is this our 6th empty slot? We haven't met them, and like the first time we meet them, it's like, hey, how are you doing? How you doing? So there is a mysterious black wolf-looking character in the bottom right corner there that is not in our party yet, I don't think. And I think if by the way, like if it's a romance branch, of course that's got to be the 6th person. But I don't think I've met them yet. Am I gonna walk in on them and like, hey, how's it going, buddy? Is this your room? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to walk in. So okay, we'll do Fontaine first. I enter Fontaine's room and see him sitting at the table. He's engrossed in a book. It almost looks like he's studying. I take a few steps forward and announce my presence to him.
Oh, hey there. I was just studying. Valessa gave me lots of notes about being a scribe. Not that I don't know all of it. It's just nice to brush up. Though I'm worried that sword will put me out of business. Visions while you're awake? You'll always know they're visions. Kinda puts my ability to tip you off in the garbage, doesn't it? But you won't have that sword forever. Until then, I study. Honestly, I can't wait for things to get back to normal. I miss my house, and all the little things like that. You take them for granted, and then they're gone. I just hope Valessa finds a way to save Valinor. She seems to be taking this elder business seriously. But I wouldn't have it any other way. The elder needs to be serious all the time. Being in charge of a nation, that's incredible. She might just be our youngest elder ever. I think that's pretty cool. We're all making history. I'm the first scribe to ever operate outside Valinor. Anyway.
He smiles and stands up from the table. It looks like he's been keeping himself busy.
We have something important to talk about. I spoke to Pro, and he gave me some spending money. So next time I get the chance, I'm buying that climbing gear. And I expect you to become my apprentice, Seer. I'll show you the ropes, and then we'll climb the Grand Tree. Hopefully we have time for one last trip before the final battle.
He runs up to me and gives me a tight hug.
It might be a good idea for another date, too. A bit more private than Mazeo's town square. If we can make it to the top, that is. I sure hope so. I just haven't had much time to practice my climbing. I hope I'm not rusty when the time comes. That'd suck. Climbing the Grand Tree has always been my life's goal. The first time I attempted, I want to make sure I succeed. And they say the best way to learn is to teach somebody else. So you better prepare for some rigorous training. We're doing this.
It seems like he's not about to take no for an answer.
No, sorry. My mind is all over the place. Thanks for coming to visit me, Seer. It means a lot. It really does. I guess you better head back to Dominic. Isn't he waiting for you in the war room or something? At least, that's what I heard. He sure loves to work.
He smiles and then takes a step back toward the table. But before he gets there, he stops in his tracks and turns around. He really was scatterbrained today, wasn't he? Is everything okay?
There's one more thing I wanted to ask you. I just forgot. Or maybe I was too embarrassed. Remember what Dominic said about the Honor Guard? They're powered by the spirits of occupation victims. I know Valessa was thinking the same thing. About our parents. Do you think they're still alive? Down here? Trapped in that armor?
That's probably that's most certainly a possibility, for sure. That's my blind response. Yeah, and we're going to set them free. I'm not sure what to think, to be honest. I don't really buy all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and we're going to set them free.
Good. I'm glad we're all on the same page. It's something we can talk about more as a group. Valessa feels the same way. She just wouldn't speak up. I saw it in her face, back in the tunnels. I don't know how we'll free them, though. But I think it has to do with your sword. So, until next time then, I'll get back to my reading.
He runs up and gives me a kiss on the cheek, aw, and after that we embrace each other and smile.
I can't wait to see you again.
Okay, so like these are not like definitive things, but it does have to do with like our responses, right? Yeah, that one was pretty obvious. All right, so I'm curious who this guy is. Oh, character not in your party. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So like this is like a round table sort of thing where you get to talk to your characters at the current moment in time. But are they supposed to be in my party? Because there's like a red X there. It's making my OCD go, eh. Alright, let's go talk to Valessa. I enter Valessa's room and see her prancing around. She looks like she's in deep thought, so I clear my throat. It was enough to get her attention, and she turns to me with a smile.
Oh, hey, Seer. I was just thinking about stuff. So much has happened since we got here. I'm still trying to find a way to save Valinor. I found a few books, but nothing too promising. In fact, some scholars doubt that the idol even helps. They say it's just a superstition or something. But how else do you explain East Crown? Such a harsh and sudden climate change. And how would you explain Elarinthia, for that matter? Was it destined to always be an arid wasteland? The spirits must have something to do with it. But there's a part of me that hopes they're right. If the spirits weren't keeping us warm, then we're fine. Nothing bad will happen to Valinor at all, right? I can't believe I'd say something like that. All my life I've been raised to believe in the spirits, but now the best thing to do is throw that belief away? It's been over 20 years since the idol went dark. I can't say that I've seen Valinor get any colder. There's more to this. Has to be. If they don't protect the land, then what does an idol do? they need to have some sort of purpose, right? All of that energy packed in one small thing. Anyway, I need to study more. I'll get back to you on that in the future.
She smiles, yet gives off concern at the same time. It's good that she was thinking about this kind of stuff. Remaining resolute in circumstances was admirable.
This HQ is a pretty nice place, huh? I'm surprised that those suits of armor built this. Look, there's a bed here. Why would they need that? Dominic says they want to live again, but there must be more to it than that. It's so intricate and clearly built for an army. I really think they wanted to help us out. That's why they built this place the way it is. They must have known what was going to happen. But that also means they're defying the triumvirate. What if we could use their own honor guard against them? Though, to be honest, I still feel a bit hesitant using that term. After what they've done to us, there's no honor left to protect. They've condemned the souls of so many victims to servitude. I guess it was only a matter of time before they rebelled too.
She sighs and sits down on the bed. I slowly walk over and sit down beside her.
Look at me. All business as usual. Maybe people are right. Maybe I need to unwind. Life can't be any fun if you never take a break, right?
That's a leading question. I just sat down next to you, lady. What are you doing? What do you want? I mean, no, just kidding. Blind answer. It's been a long day. We should, you should take time to unwind a bit. I don't know. I know there's like 5 responses here. Velessa, you need to take a break. Let's unwind together, Velessa. Your obsession with work is kind of annoying. Plenty of time to take a break when you're dead. When we're dead. I suppose that's correct. Golden Body's like, let's unwind together. I want this to happen, damn it. Alright, so we have one let's unwind together, Velessa. Like, it'll be interesting, like, that response will be interesting to see. It's like, weren't you and what's-his-face dating? It's a test. It's a test. It's like a novella. Rooview! What's you and Fontaine? No! Alright, so we have one vote so far. And I feel Alright, well, here we go. Let's unwind together going once. Let's unwind together going twice. No one's gonna stop this? We're gonna see if the game's gonna break the game. Alright, Velessa. Let's unwind together.
Together? Yeah, I can do that. I wouldn't know where to start. There's so much on my to-do list. I guess I should start from the top, huh?
She motions to the table. There's a bottle of wine on it.
Fortum has been bugging me about this for a while. I guess a drink or two will do plenty to help me unwind. Want to keep me company? It's better than staying alone.
I nod as we move from the bed to the table. She pops open the bottle and pours us each a glass. However, she doesn't sip. She seems hesitant.
Shouldn't we have a toast or something? I mean, we're supposed to drink for a cause, right? I'm new to this, so I'll let you do the honors here.
Alright. To a fruitful journey ahead. Alright, that's the thing. Here's to being good friends. Here's to us getting closer together. Here's to a bright future for all of us. So, friend zone, love zone, generic. Those are our three choices. I think that third one is closest to what I said. And I haven't drunken too much either, Sam. So, bright future. Is that your vote, Ganova, or are you just saying that? So, Golden Bonnie saying brighter future. Golden Bonnie, I thought you said you wanted this to happen, damn it. I thought you were going to go for here's to us getting closer together. I thought you wanted this to happen, man. You've betrayed it. You've betrayed. Top 10 anime betrayals. Drink to world peace. Ding! Let's drink to world peace while the people in the vineyards work for less than minimum wage to bring us this extravagant, nice little wine we have. No, just kidding. Oh. Alright, Golden Bonnie is going for it. I thought Golden Bonnie's like, okay, fine, closer together, okay. Well, I think we had me and Ganovo has brighter future. So unless somebody else goes closer together, it's gonna be brighter future going once, brighter future going twice. Here's to a brighter future to all of us.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's why I said it. We each take a sip before we and begin to while away the hours. I help to get her mind off work, and we talk for a long time. After that, I see myself back to my crew quarters, happy. All right. You're drinking? Yeah, I have Sunny D. That's my drink of choice right now. Horrible. All right. So is that like Sylvie? Like, character's not in my party. Like, did I miss something here? Like, there's the war table. Like, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Or maybe, like, you had to get something on there. So let's go back to the crew quarters. Alright, we're going to talk with Ulrich next. Let's talk with Ulrich. I enter Ulrich's room and he's laying in the bed, relaxed. Bottles of alcohol line the table nearby. It's like Alkali's room, only it's Ulrich's. Some empty, some full. He hears me enter and immediately rises up, grabbing his sword.
Who's there?
Jumpy. But as soon as he notices me, he relaxes with a sigh. Loosening his grip on his sword, he puts it aside. He was a bit paranoid, but with reason.
Sorry, you never know when someone might attack. I don't normally doze off too much, for that reason alone. It's nice to see you, though. I had a good time at the tavern.
He stands up and walks over to the table. With a large swig from another bottle, he lets out a refreshing sigh. He must not have had much downtime, but today was an off day.
Dominic said to relax, so that's what I'm doing. I've known him for years, and he's never said that. I'm surprised he's not celebrating his new pirate treaty. Even if he tells us to relax, I doubt that he's doing it. He's probably already waiting for you in the war room. Don't worry, I'll try not to keep you here for too long.
He shuffles bottles aside, looking for something specific. It isn't much longer until he finds a much larger bottle still full. There's a crimson liquid inside. It seems to be a special wine.
I've been saving this for a special occasion. And trust me, Dominic giving me the night off is really special. I don't remember the last time I could just sit back and relax.
He pops the cork off the bottle and takes a large swig. Weren't you supposed to savor wine rather than chug it?
Valoranthian wine. It's quite delicious. I'd say it's the best thing to come from that horrible place. Tastes like juice, but trust me, it sneaks up on you later. Shall we?
He holds out a bottle, offering it to me. I accept, and we both sit down at the edge of the bed. Taking turns, we pass the bottle back and forth until it's gone. Jeez Louise.
Wow. That certainly took me back. I haven't had a drinking buddy like you in a long time. People these days seem to forget about the finer things in life. Damek is always saying, train, train, train. I don't even know if he's capable of taking it easy. At least Salas knew how to balance work and fun.
He goes to take another sip of wine, trying to get the last drops. I wonder how much that cost him. It's probably the best I've ever tasted.
I guess I shouldn't bore you with that kind of talk. Your time is valuable, and you're choosing to spend it with me. Some host I'd be if I sat here and wasted that time of yours.
So, yeah, it's sort of like that Mrs. Doubtfire scene where, like, he's having drinks at both tables, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna drink with you. Hey, I'm gonna drink with you. Hey, I'm gonna drink with you. I just had to drink with you. Yeah, so, like, as far as, like, who I am as a person, it sounds like if I were one of these people here, it'd sort of be like a Dominic sort of a thing. I'm not too much of an Ulrich person. Like, I'm not... I don't... Yeah, it's like, yeah, you like to relax sometimes, but a lot of the times I'm usually busy with stuff. He stands up and places the bottle on the table before sitting down again. The bed is more than enough to fit both of us comfortably. Let's settle outside before crossing his arms.
I guess that's all I had. Too bad. The night is still young.
He laughs softly and looks over in my direction.
Drinking buddies with no drinks? This is a first. What now?
Has it really been that long since Ulrich had a friend? He doesn't know what to do, so I give him some direction. It's crazy how much he knows about me, but I know nothing about him.
More about me? So you want me to bore you, huh?
He smiles and lays back in the bed looking up at the ceiling. So, almost like he didn't want to look at me when he spoke. As a courtesy, I lay back as well, and we look up together.
Well, I'm probably older than you think, but I prefer to use the term experienced. I've seen a lot of combat in my numerous years. You kind of grow up alongside battle in Alarinthia. The culture there is so steeped in war it's impossible to avoid. When you come of age, you should already be an expert in combat. I was, but I chose to leave Alarinthia behind as soon as I could. My parents wanted me to stay, but I think they wanted it for them. I came to the mainland because I knew it would be the best for me. You need to look out for yourself. Don't let others sway your opinion. At least, that's what I told myself. I justified breaking my parents' hearts. I can't make it up to them either. They've been gone for ages. They were part of a movement that wanted to change Alarinthia. Things would be better in the hands of the wise, not the strong. An admirable view, unless you're surrounded by the strong. And surrounded they were. They were killed for their beliefs. That's why I hate Alarinthia more than anything. And the way it's run. I told myself I'd come to the mainland and practice my swordplay. I'd only ever return when I was strong enough to win. If I could become the ruler of Alarinthia, I would change their laws. Every leader has that ability, but they only care about their own power. It's always a battle of the strong against the wise. I wanted to go back to that land, both strong and wise. A ruler with a different outlook, he could change everything.
Reaching 1K, I just do what I do. As far as subscribing goes, like I've never really been too concerned with the subscriber count. It's like if you're passionate about what you do, and you enjoy doing what you do, then that's in its own reward. In fact, when I get to 1,000, I'm I don't know, like I'll probably do something to celebrate it, but I'm probably not going to be doing too crazy on it. I mean, Ulrich's got some
it's
good
just
things.
the alcohol talking right now, by the way. The childish dream of a young man. That's all it was. This world offers no quarter to men blind on ambition.
He tilted his head to look at me.
And so we offer no quarter in return. This war, it's already taken so much from us. I find myself asking, how much more will it take? Hopefully, not too much.
I turned to respond, but I noticed his eyes are closed. Was he so tired that he could fall asleep almost immediately? I wonder if I should wake him, but decided to let him rest. Slowly getting out of bed, I tiptoe my way to the door. It's been a long journey for him. He deserves the rest. I exit as silent as I can, ready to continue on my way. But I learned more about him, so I'm happy. Maybe he'd get to change Alarinthia in the end. After we beat the Triumvirate, anything is possible. Alright, so we'll do Damek, then we'll do Pro, and then I enter Damek's personal quarters and see him sitting on the bed. He's gripping something in his hand. It looks shiny and metallic. I take a few steps forward, making my presence known to him. He immediately jerks in fright, startled by my entrance. Looking away from me, he wipes his eyes with haste. He's wearing a wide smile by the time he looks back.
Oh, hey there. Just keeping up my habit of not being receptive, I suppose. If I knew you'd be here so fast, I would have put out some food.
He stands up and walks towards the nearby table. After placing the object he was holding on it, he lets out a soft laugh. I look at it when I get a chance. It appears to be some kind of brooch.
I trust our HQ is to your satisfaction. Hopefully the rebels have been treating you with respect. That blade strap to your back pretty much gives you away. Let me know if anybody acts out of turn. I won't hesitate to put them in their place, you know. You're our honored guest, and should be treated as such.
Yeah, I don't mind a good jibing every once in a while. I wouldn't want to bother it. I wouldn't be too bothered by it. Hey, Reynard, how's it going? A quick recap. Where did we start? So we sided with Alex and the pirates, and not Naga or whoever the other lady was. We made our way to the HQ. We got a little bit of a tour of the HQ. And that's really about it. We learned that the mayor of Mazeo probably killed the parents of myself, Valessa, and Fontaine. That was sort of a big reveal. Nada, thank you. Yeah, we sided with Alex and not Nada. We said Nada to Nada. But they don't know it yet, because they weren't told that at the meeting. They had me tell Damek what I wanted to do, and then they put it in a letter and they mailed it out to them, basically, so that they'd learn about it not in person, so that fighting didn't break out or whatever. So the letter that we've sided with Alex is on its way to the pirates, and they'll decide what to do from there. Alright, so, what did I say? I don't mind a good ribbing. Putting them in their place, let me watch. I sure like it when you pamper me like this. Of course, I'll keep you in the loop. I can fend for myself, Damek. Sure thing. I think when I said was closest to I can fend for myself, actually, but that's interesting. Put them in their place, lol. Alright, so we have one keep you in the loop. So we have one put them in their place. I'm going to go with putting them in their place going once. Putting them in their place going twice. This is the first jovial response I've had in a while.
If that's what strikes your fancy, then of course. I try not to be too ruthless, but sometimes it's necessary. In my position, you need to maintain a certain level of respect.
He pulls out 2 chairs and proceeds to sit down. Taking the side closest to the brooch he laid down, he looks up at me.
Care to join me? I wouldn't mind getting to know you a little better. You're more than just a seer after all. It's rude of us to treat you like some sort of symbol. I know some of my troops do that to me since I'm the general, but there's more beneath the surface. So much more.
I nod and take a seat in the chair opposite of Damek. He smiles and leans forward, displaying an attentive pose. His lack of speech makes me realize that it's my turn to speak. I tell him everything I can, pretty much summing up my life. I tell him how I met Fontaine and Valessa and how we grew up. But most importantly, I tell him about the loss of our parents. As soon as he hears that story, I can see him tense up. He reaches for the brooch and clenches it tightly in his hand. After a few moments of holding it, he starts to relax.
The occupation. We all lost something special that day. Some of us lost far more than others. What an unlucky day to be in Mazeo, huh? Your parents could have easily avoided that mess. Mine, however, well, not so much. It's complicated. I don't remember what my parents did exactly. I think they owned some sort of tavern or restaurant. It's odd how I remember little else but the chaos.
He slumps down in his chair, his posture emanating sorrow.
I wouldn't normally tell anybody this, but you're special. Oh, not really special, but you caught me holding on to it.
He holds out the brooch, and I can get a clear look at it for the first time. It's a floral pattern, clearly feminine. I'm curious why he fancies it so much.
This brooch, it used to belong to my mother. She loved it. I made sure to retrieve it from her body after the occupation.
He scoffs before shaking his head.
I remember the piles of bodies, hundreds of them lining the town square. The days after the occupation were horrid. Corpses as far as the eye could see. Luckily, I knew exactly where they kept my mother's body, so I went straight to it.
Oh yeah, I remember Nico Jijishi.
How did I know? Well, maybe I'll tell you another time. Just know that this brooch means more to me than anything else. When I hold on to it, it takes me back to simpler times, you know?
Yeah, with Nico Gigi, it was like, I think that was before we did the whole voting on the next game thing. Like, I think that was like about probably 10 or so games in before we started to do whenever we started playing of Mice and Sands.
I don't tell anybody because they need me to be strong. You can't win a war with sentiment after all. I have a certain image to maintain.
He looks at me with a smile.
But I feel I can be myself around you. You have the same burden, the same appearance to keep up. When we're together, I just feel like I can be myself.
Man, they are really pushing this relationship arc with this guy, aren't they? I'm still in a blind statement, but I know this is sort of like getting really personal, so I've always got an ear open, Damek, so always got my ears open, Damek. That's sort of what I would say. Thanks, Damek. I feel the same way. I hope we get beat together more often. I like you. Until we grow sick of each other, you mean. A toast to being ourselves. I'll let you guys vote on that one. I don't think I said anything close to what the 4 options are. We have 1, a toast to being ourselves. Alright, we have one thanks, Demic. I feel the same way. Alright. We have a tie here. Who's going to be a tiebreaker? I guess in the essence of a tie, then we'll probably pick the one who voted first. Toast to being ourselves going once. Toast to being ourselves going twice. Toast to being ourselves.
If I had something to toast with, I'd agree. Maybe next time we can share a nice drink. I mean, hopefully this isn't the last time we do this. And sorry for venting about the occupation. It's not exactly the most cheery subject, right? Just felt right to open up to you some more.
He stands up and pushes the chair back in. I guess this was my signal to leave for now. I stand up and offer my hand for shaking. He does nothing, and I'm left looking like a fool. This isn't the first time he's refused my handshake. Rather than comment on the matter, he changes the subject.
Let's meet in the war room whenever you're ready, Seer. This might be your last resting day for a while, so spend it wisely.
He smirks and sees me out of the room. It's nice to know more about him and his past. Rather than be the general, he's becoming a friend. Other than he won't shake my damn hand. Alright, final one, Pro. I enter Pro's room and see him sitting down. He's hunched over a piece of paper, scribbling notes down. It appears as if it's some sort of legal-looking document. An open bottle of wine sits next to him, and it's still full. 2 wine glasses are on the table on opposite ends of each other. Gosh dang it, am I drinking again? This will be the 3rd one. I'm gonna be floored. Upon hearing my entrance, he looks back at me and smirks.
I knew you'd come sooner or later. Good thing the wine didn't get too warm. Have a seat. This is some good vintage stuff.
I pull out a chair and sit across from Pro. As I sit down, he starts pouring out some wine. It's a dark crimson red and appears to be quite thick.
At least that's what the guy told me. I just asked for their most expensive wine. That job from before, I made more than I thought. I asked myself what I should do with all of it. I mean, there was a ton to spare even after buying food. All I could think of was share a drink with my new friend. So, here we are. Hopefully it's something you enjoy. I'd hate to buy you a treat you didn't like.
Well, I have to try it first, don't I? I guess that's my response. Might be the last time I get a drink for a while. Aw, you trying to win me over? It's more than enough. You didn't have to, and thanks, Pro. Excuse me. Oof, you don't have to. Rhymer's like, thanks, Pro. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I was just yawning. Sorry. So are you trying to win me over? So it's oh wow, lots of choices. Oh, trying to win me over. You don't have to. 4. Are you okay? Typos. Arg. Well, if I can understand what you're saying, that's just fine enough. I'm gonna be a rebel. I'm gonna choose the one that nobody chose. Just because I'm feeling that sassy. So unless somebody tie breaks it, I'm gonna pick the one that nobody chose because somebody picked all the other 3 ones. So bothers my OCD room. Oh baby, oh baby. Might be the last time I get to drink for a while. Going once. Might be the last time I get to drink for a while. Going twice. Unless you pick one, strange love. And oh baby is not a response. Someone's gonna tie break it. Going 2.5. Might be the last time I get a drink for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, especially under Domic's wing. He'll have you training like it's going out of style. I just wanted to show you a good time before all that. Last time we hung out, I didn't really get the chance. I was worried I'd scare you away when you found out what I do. It's dirty work, but it helps us survive. Somebody has to do it, right? There's a big difference between me and a regular swindler, though. I do it because we need to survive. They do it for fun and riches. After the war is over, I won't need to do this stuff anymore. Trust me, I long for that day to come. I want to just kick back and work on my writing. Right now, I only have time for this kind of stuff.
Oh, I get you, pro. I get you, for sure. It's like, I want to do something other than my job, please. Can I, like, write, please? I want to write articles. Can I write more articles, please? No, I gotta work more. Bro's thirsty. Yeah, he wants a drink. He motions to the paper he was writing on and sighs.
Organized blackmail, pretty much. That guy I mentioned last time, I was able to bribe him. He gave us tons of money to hide his growing misconduct. Of course, that makes it sound so bad, but you always need to get everything in writing. So we found a better way to word it. Listen to this. I offer Pro this sum of money in exchange for discretion. See? Doesn't sound too much like shady business, does it? Information is a huge market, and so is stopping the flow of it. Everyone is so caught up on doing stuff to make money, and here I am able to make it all by staying my hand. You just need to think outside the box a bit, Seer.
Oh, sure, they can pay you, or if it's really important, they could probably get... they could probably go and off you, right? That's the dangerous part about that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, yeah, you're not going to tell anybody. Oh, yeah, you are not going to tell anybody.
Anyway, enough about that. We should talk about the important stuff. How are you enjoying the new HQ so far?
It's got a bit of dust here and there, but it's not so bad. Alright. Damn, it could have cleaned more. Better now that I'm alone with you. It's pretty awesome, actually. I like it. It's very homey. Pretty awesome. In fact, your name is on the text, but he says a different name. Pretty awesome. We got 2 pretty awesomes. Pretty awesome. Awesome possum. Alright. Looks like we're going pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Although I really hesitate to call it new. We basically lived here before getting the deed. It was more of a formality than anything. Anyway, that's not really important. I'm glad that you like it. We're stuck here.
So, does it sound pretty homey? It's pretty homey here. It's got a little dust in there. It's got a little dust in here. This is from The Sopranos. Hey, what's the matter for you? My mom's side's Italian. We continue to talk while taking slow sips of wine. The atmosphere in here is a lot better than back in the tavern. And it feels like we're getting to know each other far more.
Honestly, I'm having a really great time. It's not often I get to put everything on pause. But right now, I don't have a care in the world. If we have more time, want to do this again? I mean, time might be pretty scarce in the future, but what little time I have, I'd totally spend with you.
What do I respond to that? Sure, just don't blackmail me or anything. If you supply the wine, I'm down. My free time is precious, I'll think about it. Sure. Are you asking me out on a date? Of course, I had a great time. Boston Knucklehead? That's a scout. Grass grows, birds fly, and butter. I hurt people. I'm a force of nature. I'm a force of nature. Like I said, he's thirsty. He is pretty flirty. To be honest, they're all pretty flirty. He is so asking you on a date right now. So I guess that's your question. Supply the drink. Are you asking me out on a date? Save. I'm saving it afterwards. I'm playing all 6 of them, and then I'm saving a new save file after I play all 6 of these. So we have 2 supply the wine, I'm down. I think we have 2 asking me on a date. So I think that's... Strangela, break the tie. I'm putting you on the spot. You have to choose one. Are you asking me out on a date, or if you supply the wine, I'm down? We could be here all day, folks. I'm waiting on Strangela to vote. I'm forcing his hand. He's the moderator. He's got to make a decision. So the interesting thing about the pattern so far is that Ulrich, I didn't have to choose anything. Like, obviously Bunny Guy's, like, fawning. I said, no, that's, the plot thickens is not a choice, Strangelove. It's either, are you asking me out on a date, or if you supply the wine, I'm down. Those are the 2 choices that you get, Strangelove. Don't avoid your responsibilities. Which is it? The plot thickens. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. You've had too much wine. Alright. If you're gonna force me... Come on, Strangelove. Okay, never mind. I'll pick one. Are you asking me out on a date going once? Are you asking me out on a date going twice?
I mean, if you want to put a label on it, sure. but I was just thinking it'd be nice to spend more time together. We're finally past that whole awkward part of introductions. I mean, I had to come clean about being a swindler, right? I'd rather do it right out of the gate than surprise you later on. We can get to know each other more now and see if we click.
We keep drinking until the wine's all gone. Oh my god. Like, I've had what? I've had 2 bottles. I've had 1 bottle of this Amaranthian thing, and that's probably really, really high in BAC, or whatever the alcohol content, right? I don't know if that's called BA. That blood alcohol? No, that's my blood. That's my blood. That's how much little I know about drinking. Like, I'm pretty sure the Amaranthian stuff's pretty strong. And now I've gone through another half of a bottle. So I've had like an entire bottle plus like maybe 2 glasses with Valessa. So like I've had a bottle and 2 glasses. Blah. It's just conversation. Alcohol by volume. Ah, ABV. Thank you. My freaking teetotaler ass over here, trying to understand anything about alcohol. We keep drinking until the wine's all gone. It's just casual conversation, nothing too intense. But once we're done, Pro stands up and yawns.
I guess this is it then? For now, of course. It's getting late. You shouldn't keep Dominic waiting too long. As much as I hate to cut this short, I mean, it's nice to just push aside all responsibilities. Let's make a habit of it. It'll be like a ritual of ours.
He smiles and I stand up, ready to leave. But I guess he's not ready to see me off just yet. Running forward, he wraps his arms around me.
Thank you, Seer. Next time, it's a date. Just like you said. I'll get more wine and candles. It'll be great.
And with that, he's back to his own business. I'm hoping this doesn't come back and bite me in the butt with the rabbit person. I'm not, well, they did say, Pro did say he liked the bunny rabbit guy because he was energetic, right? I mean, love triangle? It's the love triangle. That's a sign of a good story. It's got a love triangle going on. Sitting at the table, he lost in that letter once more. I leave the door with a smile on my face. I'm glad we got along. And you have not met this character. I wonder if we meet this character in the war room. Let's find out. But first, save to an empty slot, please. Alright. Into the war room we go. Warning. Moving to the war table will initiate Act 3. Act 3 is a long series of cutscenes with no side content. Please make sure you have sufficient time set aside to watch. Would you like to initiate Act 3? Oh, we're in Act 3 already? Wow. Alright, let's hold on then. So we did miss a character then, right? So let's exit for a bit here. Yep. Let's head back out here. There's the Mazeo, Mountain Pass. I don't think we can go back to Valinor. Maybe? Oh yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to see if we missed a guy. Oh, there's a book here. Ah, that's where I'm missing my book.
Hey, Poland!
it doesn't matter.
Are you sure?
What?
So where's the book? There's a book here. I don't see any books. Must be blind or something. Whoa, okay. Hold on, wait. Not seeing anything. It'd be funny if somebody else finds it and it's like, haha. Alright, so we're gonna watch Act 3, I guess. Continue. And this will probably be where we end off tonight, is after this whole Act 3 thing. I enter the war room and see Damek standing over the table. He's moving wooden figurines from place to place, forming a strategy. Discord 2.5, search for missing character. Right? Well, I don't know. Like, I think I'll see what happens. I guess this is my first time seeing him in action. It was impressive.
I'm glad you came, Seer.
He talks to me for while he works, displaying grace and lack of effort. It's almost like his second nature for him. What was he planning? I noticed the map on the table, which figures scattered in different regions.
So tomorrow we'll begin your training with the Blade of Exodus. But in addition to that, we'll have to train you in swordplay as well. I think Ulrich should be free. I can't really think of a better teacher.
He eyes the scabbard on my back and base of the sword.
We think that the more you use it, the more you'll tolerate it. If you're like me, you got overwhelmed the moment you touched it. It's about adapting. Slow exposure will help you become stronger. But we're also in a rush, so I've worked out a schedule for you. It balances both exposure therapy as well as combat training. There's a bit of free time in there too. You'll be needing it.
He points to a paper resting on the war table. I pick it up and start to inspect the contents. It's a detailed itinerary. I'm impressed.
Now, there's one more thing. The spirit idol we discovered is right down there. It's a bit of a walk, so I'll have to show it to you later.
He points to a small exit in the back corner of the room. It almost looks like the entrance to a cave. It stands out. Must have been dug by a large portion of this room.
It's also where I chose to bury Salus, our former leader. I guess I can be sentimental when it comes to that stuff. It just seemed like the right thing to do, you know? Now, let's go over your...
Before I continue, he's immediately cut off. Pro runs into the room, panting heavily, clearly exerted. But there's a hint of fright and concern on his face, too.
Damek, come quick!
Pro, what's going on? I'm in the middle of a meeting here.
The meeting can wait, Damek, please! Chris is here and he's causing a commotion!
What? Alright, let's go. We should probably talk to him, Seer. I'm pretty sure I know what he's after.
We all nod to one another and Pro starts leading the way. Whatever was coming our way, I'm sure Dominic could handle it. We run to the atrium to handle the situation as fast as we can. When we arrive, I see Ulrich standing imposingly before Grise. A good choice. Ulrich could fight off almost anybody.
Stand down, Grizz.
I only want to see Dominic. We had a deal, and it's his turn to deliver. Don't forget, I'm the only reason you're down here.
Grise looks back towards us, noticing our entrance.
Please, Ulrich, stand aside. Insubordination isn't your style.
He tilts his head back towards Dominic. Ulrich turns and looks, noticing that we're here. Saying nothing, he turns around and walks away. He rests his back against the wall and simply watches. It seems like all this tension was cut off from the air. Those two men in deadlock was a scary sight to behold.
Good. Now, Dominic, it's time. Unless anybody else wants to challenge me.
Dominic takes slow steps forward, cautious not to make any sudden movements. Grise grips the handle on the hammer resting on his back, as if to threaten.
Now, Grizz, let's remain calm. I fully intend to hold up my end of the bargain. There was just some important business to take care of.
He motions towards me.
Yeah, I know. But all the pieces are in place, Dominic. Will you please take me to see it?
Dominic shuffles in place, anxious.
I suppose I can rearrange my schedule a bit. Sorry if it appeared like I was going back on my word.
I'll accept that apology when you take me to the idol. I'm sure you understand. I'm past the point of buying time. And make sure you bring that new friend of yours as well.
Oh, so it was the idol he wanted? And from the way he spoke, he wanted me as well. Of course, this is all likely related to the Blade of Exodus.
Very well.
Dominic quickly concedes without contest. Of course, before we can move, there's an interruption. Being a rebel was a busy life, it's always something. However, this was far bigger than any of us imagined. Dominic looks on in shock as a young man slowly enters the room. Oh no, it's Shane, isn't it? With heavy labored steps, they appear to be weak and tired.
Shane? Shane, you're back!
It's a trap! It's a trap, Dominic, don't do it! Dominic runs forward and Grizz steps back. He seems to understand what's going on, too. Shane had come back from the trip from Baltius.
Dominic.
Shane, I can't believe this! I was so worried we lost you!
Everyone watches in awe.
Did it hurt you? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Pro, go grab some water, quick!
No, Dominic, I'm fine. Don't worry about it, Pro.
Pro stops in his tracks upon hearing this. If anything, it looked like Shane needed some rest.
I'm sorry, Dominic.
It's a trap!
For what? Oh, don't be silly, Shane. I'm the one who should be apologizing here. It was foolish of me to send you into danger like that.
Shane steps forward and wraps his arms around Dominic. It's a trap, don't do it! Everyone seems so relieved and all the tension is gone. Even Grace casts a smile as he watches this happy reunion. But Shane takes advantage of our lowered guard. Reaching into his pocket, he pulls out a dagger. No! Before any of us can react, the damage is done. Dominic screams and stumbles back in shock. Shane was fast. His abdomen is covered in wounds. He shakes, blood spilling on the floor at an alarming rate.
Shane?
Ulrich is the first to react and he tries to restrain Shane. However, it's no use. He's far too agile to be caught.
Shane, what have you done?
He doesn't respond and grabs a bow and some arrows from a nearby weapon stand. All of us are panicking, not sure what to do. Could Ulrich take on Shane alone? With a few moments, though, there was the absolute least of our worries.
Sophie, now!
Immediately after, Sylvie enters the room from the entrance to the tunnels. There's a man in a white suit of armor with him, like the honor guard. What was he doing here? This is certainly coordinated. We're in trouble.
Sometimes I wish it wouldn't be so easy. Look, Helen, even the suits of armor are still alive. All the time in the world, and they didn't even act.
Pitiful.
They both look at the honor guard in the atrium. Minding their business, they just stumble about. There's a lot, but they pose no real threat to anybody. Sylvie steps forward, looking at us all. Ulrich grips his blade and stands in the way.
Leave. Or else, what? I'll kill you. So dramatic, Ulrich. You've certainly grown. Where was that bravado 500 years ago?
Ulrich growls and grits his teeth, easily provoked. All of us were locked in place, too scared to move.
You're outnumbered. Don't test me. If Dominic dies, we'll find another leader. You've done no real damage to us, Sophie.
Is that so?
Sylvie grins and raises his hand in the air. With a dramatic snap of his fingers, I stumble back. The blade is reacting and trembling. What's going on? There's a quick flash of light. Wait. I know this feeling. From my visions of Valinor, when he animated those suits of armor. Can he truly manipulate the blade without even touching it? He can. All hell breaks loose before I can even begin to process these events. The honor guards grab their blades and starts massacring the rebels. With a simple snap of the fingers, he sent them all into a murderous rage. All I can hear is a scream of agony as our forces are caught off guard. Bodies start to litter the floor, while other rebels grab their weapons and fight. Grise runs forward and grabs Damek's body, slowly dragging it away.
Seer, come with me. Let the rebels keep the enemy occupied. I have an idea, but you need to do what I say.
I nod and follow after him. I'm still not able to process anything. How would the rebellion ever recover from this? Within minutes, almost all the rebels were killed. Yeah, it's getting bad. Yeah, obviously, it gets pretty conflicty for sure. This isn't how things were supposed to happen. I look down at Damek's body and it's motionless. The trail of blood follows me and Grise as we flee the area. But before we can leave the atrium, Shane notices the trail. I feel a sharp pain in my chest and suddenly drop to the floor. I can't move. I look down and notice an arrowhead protruding from my torso. Oof, I got hit. He shot me in the back. That's all I can take before everything fades away. However, with what just happened, I'm certain of one simple fact. The rebellion is no more. Troop morale has fallen to 25%. Valessa and Fontaine rush to the atrium, frightened by the sound of commotion. Members of the honor guard rush past them to carry out their brutal objective. When they arrive, a horror awaits them. It's clear that the rebellion has lost.
Oh no!
Ulrich, what's going on?
Ulrich is locked in combat with Sophie, violently swinging his sword. But Sophie dodges with ease, swaying his body from side to side. When he gets his chance, he lands a harsh punch on Ulrich's chest. Falling back, Ulrich is on his knees, brought to his knees. He pants heavily, trembling as he raises back up.
I don't hide behind a sword like you and your seer. Now tell me, Ulrich, how does it feel to lose to me? To see everything around you crumble and fall?
He laughs, that maniacal cackle echoing through the halls.
Perhaps now you regret changing sides.
Never. This isn't over, Sylvie. Stand back, both of you.
He waves his arms dismissively at Vilessa and Fontaine. However, it's already too late. The honor guard is closing in on them. Ulrich turns and tries to step to help them, but a blow to the back of his head knocks him down. He can only watch through blurred vision as the honor guard overpowers them. Screams assault his ears, and they are slowly silenced. Had they been killed too? He scans the room trying to find Pro, but he can't. Perhaps he's among the bodies? Sylvie steps over and kicks Ulrich in the gut, causing him to grunt and fall over. A few moments later, he kneels down and stares Ulrich straight in the eyes.
You thought you had everything under control. Abandon Valanorth, gather your forces, and attack Balteus. It would work if we didn't have you in our grip the entire time. All we wanted was to destroy Mazeo's spirit idol, Ulrich, the final idol in all of Alestia. The sickness almost cured. I know what you're thinking, though. The vision of Valanorth. The seer saw only what the triumvirate wanted him to see. A trick to lure every single one of you down here. It worked! And after I kill you, the seer's life and that blade will be mine. May the triumvirate reign eternal.
Shane and Helen approach Sylvie, leaving Ulrich to look up at all three. Sylvie holds a hand out to Shane, who gives him his dagger without hesitation. Pressing against Ulrich's throat, Sylvie pauses, savoring the fear in his eyes.
I'd ask if you had any last words, but you don't deserve this satisfaction.
Not so fast!
Everyone quickly turns to look at Pro, runs in from the tunnels. He pants heavily. Having clearly run out a large amount, he smirks.
Alex, do it now!
A few moments later, an army of pirates floods in from the tunnels. Sylvie, Halen, and Shane quickly become defensive, trying to fend them off. There was enough now that they had a chance. Their targets were clear. Using the commotion as cover, Pro rushes to Ulrich's side. He helps him get to his feet, as he finally returns to his senses.
Where's everybody else? Vilessa? Fortin? The seer?
Ulrich looks down at the floor ashamed.
It's too late.
He places a hand on Ulrich's shoulder. Shaking his head, he knows that Ulrich is wrong.
It's never too late. Come on, let's take them down. They won't get away with this. They can't.
Ulrich smiles and nods, and they quickly rush into camp. Things were starting to turn around. They were no longer outnumbered. Sylvie, however, uses this commotion to sneak deeper underground. While everyone else was distracted, his objective was clear. He's a Terminator. Grice carries me and Domek into the room behind the war table. The massive spirit idol glows and radiates energy. It's beautiful. Though through my faded vision, it only appears more surreal and odd. He carries me to one side of the room and rests me down. I notice that the arrow in my chest is gone, replaced with bloodied wrappings. He must have treated me during the time I had just lost. But what about Domek?
There were some supplies back in the crew quarters. I was able to treat your wound. No vital areas were harmed. It's almost like he did that on purpose. Unless you got really lucky.
He sighs and looks back at Domek. who he had arrested on the other side.
But he wasn't lucky. I'm sorry, Seer. He's gone.
So I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. And now I have to drink because I was wrong. I was wrong. That's good writing. I was wrong. And it was Dominic who died. Which kind of makes it somewhat tragic that they were trying to, like, go, flirt with him, please, flirt with him, please, he's gonna die, flirt with him, please. Like, no.
But we can still fix this. This is what I've been wanting all along. A chance to tap into that idol's power.
He looks at the blade on my back. Reaching behind my shoulder, he undoes the scabbard. It falls to the ground. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath.
Please, let me take your blade. This is the deal I made with Domek, to free the spirits from those suits of armor.
I look it up at him, confused. Pain courses through my body and I tremble. I grab the scabbard and hold it tightly in my hands.
Please, Seer. There isn't much time. 20 years ago, I led the occupation with Sophie. The people I killed, they're trapped in those suits of armor. If you give me the blade, I can use the power of that idol. I'll release those spirits. I'll give them the freedom they deserve. I need to do this. It's the only way I can make up for what I did. And without the honor guard, this battle is won. Your allies can easily fight against Sophie and his men. There's still a chance to win here. We need to take it.
He looks down at the floor and his ears fall flat.
I know why I recognized you and your friends back at my office. During the occupation, there were people that looked just like you. I was just following orders. Trust me, I regret what I did. All of it.
Wait, does he mean?
Your parents, they were in Mazeo during the occupation, right? It's more than coincidence. This must be happening for a reason. They aren't dead, Seer. They're trapped in those suits of armor.
I notice the glistening of tears forming in his eyes.
Sent there by me. Let me free them, Seer. It's what they would want. It's what they all want.
My grip on the scabbard tightens. He killed our parents? I can tell he's truly sorry, but this is just too much to take in. The pain in my chest gets more intense and I wince.
Here, I've got you.
He wraps one arm around me, slowly helping me to my feet. Together we take a few slow steps across the room, toward the idol. I look at Domic's body in the corner of my eye, still and lifeless.
I stopped serving the Triumvirate the moment I got the chance. Being forced to live in those suits, forced to wear their colors. Nobody should have to suffer such a fate. We can fix this.
As we get closer to the idol, the earth starts to shake. There's a massive reaction coming from the blade. Grice holds me tighter as the tremors get more intense.
I picked up some information when I served the Triumvirate. That blade has the ability to bend its power to your will. It all depends on what the wielder wants it to do. They want power, and so it gives them an army. We want freedom, and so that's what we'll have. Please, Seer, let me do this. It's all I ask.
Each step we take causes emotion to well up within me. This is all too much. It's all happening too fast. No matter how hard I think, I have no idea what to do.
I know it will kill me, but I've come to terms with that. It's a fitting punishment, considering what I've done.
He reached the idol, and I'm almost blinded by its light. Night, Nova. His crimes against the world and our families were awful. I could always tap into the power of this idol myself. How would Valissa and Falane feel if I sided with Grays? Some crimes aren't forgivable. Is this one of them?
Please.
There wasn't really any choices between it and there, but this is a big one. Let Gray sacrifice himself, or tap into the idol's power yourself. Whew, that was quite a freaking trip. Ugh, not fun. Not fun. Ugh. Poor Dominic. He was so young. I'm not going to comment too much. I'm just going to let you guys vote on it for a bit. No silly stuff here. No, like, leaning or giving thoughts on my ideas on it. It's not really one that's sort of a heavy moment, man. Sort of heavy. Going once. Going twice. No, I couldn't let him do this. My reasons were my own. I shake my head and hold the blade closer to my body. He sighs and looks to the floor, defeated.
Very well.
He lets go of me and I start to stumble. I use the scabbard as a cane to hold myself up. I can tell he's angry, but also that he understands. I expected him to fight me for the blade, but he accepts defeat. Turning around, he starts to walk away, his shoulders slumped down. This was my job. This was my destiny, to harness the blade of Exodus. I couldn't let others use it to assist in their suicide. Turning to face the idol, I slowly remove the blade from the scabbard. Remembering Graze's insight, I tried to bend the blade to my will. This time, it wouldn't overpower me. It would help me save all of us all from this massacre. The flash of white light that I expected is nowhere to be found. I can hold the blade with no trouble, just as like I desired. So it was true. The blade is mine to control? With a wide smirk, I hold the blade up to the idol. It was time to destroy all the honor guard in these tunnels. It was time to free their souls of all the condemned, our parents too. That desire in my mind sparks the blade, and the white light fills the room. But there's another desire too. The survival of Damek and our future victory. The ground shakes more violently, almost causing me to fall to the floor. But I stand my ground. This was too important. The survival of the rebellion and Alestia's future was on the line. I am too overcome with hope to falter as the white light slowly subsides. The idol starts to flicker, like it's running out of power. Did I do it? I guess there's only one way to find out. I put the scabbard back on, but I hold onto the sword. I'm in control of it now. I stand there, using the blade as a crutch. With the ground shaking so violently, it's hard to stand up. I'll need to go back to the atrium. They need to know about this.
No! What have you done?
Sobi charges into the room, catching me completely off guard. He stands there, panting, looking at the idol, and now it flickers. With a grunt of rage, he starts running up to me, ready to attack. Because of the trembling earth, however, he stumbles a bit. I use this to my advantage and jump out of the way. Landing with a quick roll, I'm back on my feet. We circle around each other, both hesitant to attack. I hold out the blade, as if to threaten him.
There's so much you don't know.
He smirks and lunges forward to attack me. I hold out the blade to guard myself, but I'm not sure what happens next. With a snap of his fingers, mid-lunge, the blade suddenly vanishes from my hands. A few moments later, it materializes in his. I don't have enough time to brace myself. It's already too late. Moments later, I'm on the floor with Sylvie on top of me. So he can wield it, just like the vision showed me. Gripping the blade in one hand, he uses the other to punch me, repeatedly in the chest, causing the wound to open more and bleed. I kick and scream in agony, trying my best to withstand the harsh blows. He's smart. Soon enough, the pain is too much for me to fight back. I can only squirm and wince under him, enduring the assault. The cavern starts to crumble, and pieces fall from the ceiling.
There's no one here to save you, Seer. Your life is mine, and the rebellion is no more.
Smirking, he lowers the blade to my neck.
May the triumvirate reign eternal.
I use all my strength to reach up and grab the blade, trying to push it away. I realize there's almost no point. But soon after, the blade reacts to both of our touches. Another white flash engulfs the entire room. The pressure is relieved from my neck, and I hear Sylvie struggle. Just like Grice said, the blade reacts to the will of the elite wielder. Whose will was stronger? And it's starting to rain outside. Sounds like it's going to rain pretty harshly, too. That'll be fun. I raise my other hand to grab the blade as well. I close my eyes and focus with every fiber of my being. Spirits, please, do something. Save me. Save us all. The light subdues, and I see Sylvie looking down at me in shock. I could see the horror in his eyes, but I have no idea what just happened. Perhaps the blade gave him visions? Like it did for me back in Valinor? He panics and throws the blade on the ground.
So it is true. The spirit realm is...
Slowly standing up, he takes a few steps back. Looking down in my eyes, I could see sadness within him. So many conflicting emotions, all in the span of a few seconds. He scoffs and turns back at me.
Remember my mercy, Seer. Next time you won't be so lucky.
To my complete shock, he simply runs away. I tilt my head to the side and watch him leave. The blade rests beside me, so I reach for it. But any hope of salvation is quickly lost. It's over. As soon as Sylvie leaves the room, it starts to cave in. Rubble and debris block the exit, leaving me trapped inside. I look over at Demek's lifeless body and start to cry. My wounds bleed profusely, and my vision slowly wanes. With my final moments, I grip the blade and pray for help. But before I slip away into nothingness, that help never comes. Ulrich and Pro stand back to back, destroying the honor guard with ease. The pirates, on the other hand, keep Shane and Hallen occupied. They were starting to come back from this. They could survive.
Another one down. Come on, Ulrich. Pick up the pace. If you lose this, you'll never hear the end of it.
Ulrich takes down four suits of armor with one swing of his sword.
Oh, we're keeping count. Then I think Alex and his crew are winning. But at least now we know who Damek chose.
They look over at Alex, who fights off Halen and Shane. He's an expert swordsman, one of the most impressive in the world. Moments later, him and his crew have the enemy surrounded. Halen and Shane pant heavily, worn out from the intense fight. But they look around at the fallen honor guard, realizing they're outnumbered. The initial strike was devastating, but the rebellion was slowly pouncing back.
Where's Sophie?
I think he's gone to the idol.
Then that means...
Before he can finish talking, the ground starts to shake. Everyone is caught off guard, stumbling around.
It does! Shane, retreat!
But Sophie...
He'll catch up later. Let's not do anything stupid.
Shane nods and they start to run away. They were cornered near the tunnel, so it's an easy escape. Ulrich and Pro slowly march over, standing by their pirate
What
allies.
should we do? Should we chase after them, Ulrich?
No, let them go. We can't risk being led into another trap. They hit us too hard. We need to mitigate the damage.
They nod and back down. I keep seeing Grize's picture pop up every time there's like a shift, and it's kind of like somewhat of an annoyance.
We're a team now. We're here to help. If there's anything you need us to do, just say it. We owe Damek everything. He changed Mazeo's future.
Thank you, Alex. I have a feeling there's a lot of work to do. But before that, let's take care of the honor guard.
Roger that.
They all turn to face the suits of armor, but they're shocked. The honor guard remains perfectly still, not moving an inch. The continued shaking of the ground causes them to fall over. Hitting the ground, they shatter into pieces, like an army of glass. A bright flash of white light emanates from the crew's quarters. Along with that, the earth trembles with more intensity.
What's going on?
It must have something to do with the idol.
But they said Sophie was down there.
I think I saw Grizz carry Damek and the seer down there. Sylvie wouldn't want this to happen. So that means...
They're still alive!
They must be. Come on, let's go. Alex, man the tunnels.
You got it.
Yeah, well, as soon as this whole scene is done, like whenever, like basically where there's a good ending point, which is probably going to be in a bit, so it's not too terrible. It's not like game breaking or anything, so I'm not going to like stop the stream. Maybe if I hit like the save button and hit return. They start running towards the war room, but they don't make it very far. Ulrich stops in his tracks as he notices the movement in the corner of his eyes. Valessa and Fontaine. They were moving. They must have survived.
Wait! Hold on! Bro, look!
Ulrich points, and they both make their way over to Valessa and Fontaine. Crouching down, Prone offers his hands to Valessa and Ulrich to Fontaine. They help them get to their feet, and they look shaken and traumatized.
What happened? How did you survive that?
He was totally convinced that you died. I can't believe your luck. I'm surprised.
They both look to the ground almost as if they're ashamed.
I thought they were going to kill us, but they didn't. I don't really know what happened.
They didn't attack us. They pushed us to the ground. It's almost like they wanted us to stay out of harm's way.
It's your mama and papa. That's what it is.
Yeah, we wouldn't have stood a chance in combat. I don't know why they wanted to help, but they did.
I think I know. Never mind.
She quickly changes the subject.
Where's the seer? Ulrich, take us to see him.
Right, of course. They must be by the spirit idol. Damek too, it's not that far. Follow me.
Deciding not to question Providence, they all follow Ulrich. In a time like this, it was best not to doubt your blessings. However, Valessa remains a few paces behind, thinking.
Mom? Dad? Thank you.
Well, good people don't die, because their actions live on, man. My vision slowly fades back in, much to my surprise. I've been on the verge of death for what seems like an eternity. I'm strong. My will and the power inside me refuse to give in. Pain radiates from the wound in my chest, but I'm almost getting used to it. Soviet attempts to make it more fatal had clearly failed, or did they? I remember the thought I had in my mind the moment I faded away. I wanted to be saved. I wanted to make it through this alive. Could the blade have that much power? Could it have saved me? I backed myself up against a wall and lay against it. Then I scanned the room. Wait. What's that? A hulking shadow is on the other side of the room, whispering to itself. But Domic's body is still on the floor. Who could that be? I look at the exit of the room. It's still caved in. Impossible. There was no one else in the room with us. Their ears perked up. They must have heard my movements. Quickly turning to face me, they take heavy, slow steps. Stumbling from side to side, it's almost like they can't balance. I can't see their face. My vision's too blurry. Whatever happened to Grise, anyway? But when they make it to my location, they kneel down. While normally I would be frightened, I seem to feel at ease. Ah, there's the Dark Wolf guy. They reach forward and place a hand on my chest. I hadn't realized it, but in my confusion, the pain had stopped. Or was it even there to begin with? Maybe I just felt it in my head. They let go and shake their head dismissively. A flicker of light from the dying idol illuminates their face. When I see them, I ask who they are, but get no straight answer.
Gaze into the abyss after a lifelong journey and plead. Beg for the answer to your most undying question. And tell me, what would frighten you most? Being left in silence or hearing an answer?
Alright, Nightwolf. I don't understand, and I shake my head. But something tells me that they look familiar to me. I'm too delirious to think straight, so this thought goes nowhere.
The pursuit of an answer is more defining than the answer itself. For no truth can compare to the truth we've conjured in our head. Hearing an answer may rob us of purpose. We prefer silence.
You talk in riddles. You must be Riddler.
But sometimes, the silence can be maddening. We can convince ourselves that purpose is not important, self-destructive. Purpose breeds strength and victory. We desire victory.
He stands up and holds out his hand. I grab it and he pulls me to my feet and I say, "Not so damn fast! My frickin' chest hurts! Ah!" This is the first time I've truly seen him. He's covered in scars from head to toe. Almost as if he's endured torture. Or something far worse. Just so you know, it's like raining pretty good outside, so if the power, and it's slightly windy, so if the power goes out, what can I do? Tattoos adorn his arm, much like those on Ulrich's body. Who was this?
We need no name. A name defines an individual. We are many, and therefore cannot be defined. This body is merely a tool. It bends to our will.
Oh, so you're the spirits thing guy.
We know how confused you are. It's always the same. Come with me. There's still much we need to do. Dominic, right? That's the name of your leader?
He turns around and looks at Domic's body.
You said that name in your sleep. You called out to him, but only we responded. He lives. We took care of that while you slept.
He's alive? I look over and watch his chest move up and down. He's breathing. I'm almost in disbelief at this. What happened?
We will tell you both. There is much to discuss. With the exit cut off, we have sufficient time. A funny concept time. Perhaps another day.
Well, time, you're gonna tell me another day about time? Time and days and time and what is what? Come on, dude. Like, stop reading my brain too, because I'm not saying anything to you and you're reading my monologues. Knock it off. You're creeping me out, man. We walk over to Damek and the mystery man takes slow steps again. His limbs appear stiff, as if they're being unused for a long while. I wouldn't know if I would call this thing, this person or entity a he or they or things. It's like, I don't even. It seems like a deity to me. I don't know. It's the spirits. They answered, and they look like a ripped wolf. If this guy's name is Legion, I swear.
He should have been awake by now. His wounds were grievous. He was saved. We were limited, but we did what we could. Rise.
Like bread. He says this in a demanding voice, and Dominic starts to move. His eyes slowly open, and he looks at both of us as he comes to.
Sailors! Am I dead? What's going on?
Oh, that's Salus. Oh, see, that's clever. I like that. I like that. This story has caught me off guard a few times. I've got to give it that. I mean, he did say he buried him back here, so I laugh softly and tell him that he's not dead. But he seems to be confused. He seems to have me confused with Salus. No, me. He's talking about that guy right there.
Salus.
Wait. His eyes are fixated on the mystery man as he says the name. Yeah, I kind of figured that. I take a few steps back, confused and scared at the same time. Could it possibly be? No. There's no way. That makes no sense.
How are you alive? How am I alive?
This isn't right. Salus was dead. Our old elder, the rebellion's founder.
Salus, the name of this vessel. He no longer lives. Do not use this name. As we said before, no name is required. We simply exist.
Damek and I look at one another, utterly confused.
Please explain. I don't understand.
The man points to the center of the room.
You will have a seat. You may be satisfied. Or perhaps not. We have some answers, but not all of them.
I basically brought you back from the dead, so shut up. That's what his response to be. I reach down and help Damek up. He grunts. There are no wounds on his abdomen. There's nothing. This requires some serious explanation, and fast. I take Damek over to the corner of the room and we sit down. The other man, however, walks over to the exit and inspects it.
Trapped, as always. Do you trust your comrades? We think they are your only hope.
If they survived.
Yes.
He walks over to our location and sits down. I guess we all could do was wait to get rescued. The Rebel HQ is full of digging tools after all.
You will ask, and we may answer.
He sat in silence and waited for us to make the next move.
Who are you?
The idol is no more. Its energy was released. It may still glow, but it will soon go dim. Lifeless. Energy must be stored somewhere. Less wasteful. Much of it went into that sword you carry. Some of it was used to heal your wounds. The rest, well, we found a vessel to use.
A vessel?
This body expired long ago. It offered no resistance and no identity. We thought it would be fitting. We desired a voice.
Who is we?
We are what you call the spirit realm. Until now, our power was stored only in objects. That, and vessels which had their own voice, like you.
He looks at me.
So, let me get this straight. The power released from the idol healed us, and it took over Salus's body so it could talk.
Correct.
So, I'm talking to the spirit realm right now.
A portion. The rest resides in his body and the sword. However, the spirit realm is just a term you created to define us. We are more than that, and we finally have a voice in your world.
Damn it, Gulp's getting a little frightened.
Are you peaceful?
That is a relative term.
That's not a good answer. That's a great answer. Hey, at least he's not like, we come in peace. We come in peace.
Are you going to hurt us?
No.
What is your purpose?
An impossible question. Do you know your purpose?
No, I guess not.
We only wish to aid you. Please do not question. It would please us greatly to see the triumvirate fall. We are their victims, just as much as you are, Domic.
Victims?
You do not know the truth of what we are. It is understandable, because we could never tell. Using this voice, we wish to make our suffering known.
Let me know if the rain gets really loud, guys, because it's starting to pour pretty good, and it's making some noise. So if it overflows everything, I may have to take a
and
save.
Using this body, we wish to enact our vengeance. If this is acceptable, we will join you after rescue. If rescue comes, that is. Until then, we talk.
Damek nods. He's taken this very well, actually. After all, he's talking to a corpse of his former leader, and he was a corpse himself just a little bit ago. But a strategist needed to adopt a change and overcome it. Or maybe he's just numb from the trauma of these events.
Of course, but you need to explain. What is the truth of the spirit realm? Were we so wrong that you needed a voice?
We do not blame you for your interpretation. Given your situation, it made perfect sense. But yes, you were wrong. Very wrong.
Me and Dominic look over at each other once more. We never believed this if we didn't just cheat death. But given the circumstances, we can't deny the truth. This was a living embodiment of the spirit realm, much like the idols, but able to walk and talk as well. If that was the case, then there were no more secrets. He could tell us everything about the spirit realm. The underlying questions of our history finally answered. What was their purpose, and why did they influence us? The answers would change everything, forever. Eventually, ending up in the war room, everyone looks around frantically. It wasn't much longer until they noticed the back corner of the room was caved in. Rather than digest the current events, they search for Damek and the Seer.
They must be down with the idol.
Can we even get down there?
Go back to the crew quarters, Fortin. You too, Valessa. Bring us some equipment. We should be able to reach them if we dig.
Of course. What should we look for?
Pickaxes, shovels, stuff like that. Anything to help us get through that rubble.
Right.
They both run off in search of supplies. It was clear that the tunnels caved in, but how bad was it? They cling to their hope that everyone survived.
Hey, are you sure you don't want to join them? Shouldn't they have some sort of protection?
No, everything will be fine. Alex and his forces are on guard. Nobody else will be coming or going.
Then what about Sovi? Do you think he's down there?
No, he's probably long gone.
But I didn't see him run off anywhere. We were all in the tunnels, weren't we?
That's the point, Pro. You don't see a man like him. He comes and goes as he pleases.
Oh, okay.
He crosses his arms, both confused and concerned.
What should we do while we wait? Are you sure you don't want me to help them?
I'm certain. We need to talk, Pro.
About what?
Let's say Damek did fall in combat. What would we do then? What's our next step?
I don't want to think about that. Losing Salus was more than enough. I'm sure he's alive. We'll find him.
But what if he's not? We need to think, Pro. Things would be in our hands.
Our hands?
Yes, we'd be the new leaders. How would we come back from this?
I don't know if we can.
That's why I sent those two away. I don't think they'd be ready to hear this. There's a very real chance that the Seer is dead. If that's the case, then there's nothing we can do. We'd never be able to win this war conventionally. That blade in their power was all we had, Pro.
I don't know, Ulrich, but I feel like they're alive. They wouldn't give in so easily.
I guess we'll find out.
And we need to trust in the spirits, right? They showed Damek a vision of our victory.
But they also showed Valinorth's destruction. We know that was false. They attacked our HQ instead.
Are you saying the spirits were lying?
I don't know, Pro. It's too complicated for me to say. But something tells me that we can't trust the spirits anymore. If they come out from that tunnel, it'll be as changed men.
The mysterious man takes a deep breath before starting to talk. Damek and I sit forward in awe, almost in disbelief at the situation. The spirit realm was using a vessel to speak directly to us. I'm not sure if we should be honored or terrified.
The rulers of this world, the triumvirate, already you take up arms against them. This is good. We were unable to do so in our current state. We were trapped.
Trapped?
It all happened in the blink of an eye. Our glorious monarchy, destroyed in an instant. They showed no mercy. They showed nothing. Something happened. Something beyond words. We were simply living life, and then we were not. They forced us to watch them defile our world.
I don't understand.
Neither do we. But that is what happened. They stole our future. And our bodies. We were prisoners, bound by celestial chains as they had their way with our world.
So they didn't create Celestia?
No. But they created you, the new residents of Alestia, built in their image of perfection to counter our corrupt nature. They stole our world and our future, handing it off to you.
This is incredible!
We do not share the same opinion.
No, I meant the story!
I can't believe I'm hearing this right now. We always knew there was more to this world.
This is why we needed a voice. We've suffered for eternities, unable to speak, forced to watch, and cry for help upon deaf ears.
I have a few questions.
Of course.
So, the spirit realm is more like a prison, and it held you and your people captive. Huh. Then what are these visions and idols all about? Almost all of our culture has been built around them, especially Valinor, which is where the seer comes from. Rumor has it that the Triumvirate wanted to destroy the idols.
Over time, we were forced to adapt. We changed. The idols are a manifestation of our desire to reach out. They gave us the ability, however minimal, to speak with you.
The visions, you mean?
Yes, but our power was limited, and we were censored. This is why we could never tell you the truth through visions. Whenever we did, the Triumvirate made you see something else.
That's what they did this time then? We saw Valinor getting attacked and strategized about that. But it seems like their plan was always to attack us down here.
Indeed, which is why we chose not to create another idol. Instead, we chose to influence the members of their honor guard, the barracks, the living quarters, the weapons. We did it all for you. We did it so you would survive this trap and help us seek vengeance. It seems the cost was dire, but we succeeded. We shall succeed again. We wish to aid your assault on Balteus and take back our homeland.
So, you come from Balteus?
We lived all over Alestia, but Balteus was our capital. The castle there housed the monarch, our king or queen. We may have been corrupt, but we lived in peace. We were happy.
What do you mean by corrupt?
We are not certain. Perhaps there is inherent evil in all of us. The Triumvirate deemed that a flaw, and rewrote the world. When your kind was first made, you were mindless slaves, forced to carry out the Triumvirate's bidding. No free will. That is a gift we gave to you through the idols we created. Slowly, our corruption merged with the purity of your kind. That was the first step. After that, we created seers, beings capable of hearing our plight and leading insurrections. To this day, all have failed. We were not strong enough.
Wait, I know where this is going.
The band stands up, motioning his arms to suggest that we do the same. Dominic and I do so as instructed, dusting ourselves off while looking up at him.
Yes. That is why we gave the seer all of our power. Enough to wield that blade against your creators and our captors. The timing seemed correct. It is a gamble, but with favorable odds. However, there is another matter at hand. There is no more spirit realm. The idols are all gone, and the power resides within us and that blade. The power within you, Seer, is immense. You carry on our legacy. So now, I will call you what you are.
He immediately kneels down and looks to the floor. If I wasn't mistaken, it looks like he was swearing fealty.
Rightful heir to the throne of the monarchy, my king. I will serve you in this fight to take back our world, and together we will all be free from their grip.
King?
We exchanged glances, confused and shocked. The power inside me made me the heir to the throne? Knowing the truth of the spirits was enough, but this? This is too much. I take a few big steps back, overwhelmed. How could I possibly be expected to process this?
Maybe we should slow down here.
We must not. To slow down would be giving them time. They've had enough. We've watched for far too long. The weight of our kind is upon you. Do not let us down.
Before I can even react, I hear a sound from the other side of the room. The rubble that blocked the exit started to crumble and fall to the ground. I can hear the harsh impact of a pickaxe. They found us. The man remains knelt on the ground. I let him rise. I tell him to rise. He obeys without question, clearly respecting my authority. My authority! I have a king. It's good to be the king. He considered me his king. I have no idea what to do or say.
As you command.
All of us turn to look at the exit. It wasn't much longer until light pierces through. The final bit of rubble is out of the way and Ulrich emerges.
Domek, we were so worried that you...
He immediately stops in his tracks, staring at us. Oh boy. Hi. You remember this guy? He's a zombie now. It's clear that he's shocked at the sight of Salus. Fontaine, Velis, and Pro enter shortly after.
What?
Ulrich steps forward, immediately cautious. He looks ready to grab his blade at a moment's notice. I can understand how his confusion and shock manifests this way.
At ease, Ulrich. I'll try my best to explain.
Damek steps forward too, as if to guard both of us.
Everybody, let's go back to the atrium. There's much to discuss, and I'll tell you all the truth.
He looks over at the mysterious man and simply gulps.
Things just got a lot more complicated. For all of us.
It's got complicated. We all enter the atrium, and I notice Ulrich is visibly shocked and angry. Pro seems the same, however, it's less intense. They seem to recognize Salus. Even Valessa and Fontaine seem anxious. Our old and very dead elder alive? Bodies scattered to the floor, and as well as pieces of white and gold armor. Rebels cry, cradling the bodies of the fallen comrades in their arms. There weren't many people left standing. This was a catastrophic attack. Morale's at 0. Oof. Domek walks over to a nearby staircase and waves over at me and Salus. We follow after him and slowly ascend the stairs. It was time to tell everybody. When we get to the top, he rests his hands on the railing, taking a deep breath.
I guess this is it. Where do I even start?
He shakes his head before clearing his throat. He had a lot of ground to cover. The noise echoes through the atrium, and the surviving rebels turn to look. Seeing Domek at the top of the stairs, they gather to listen to their leader.
They say that mercy is the mark of a great man. But there are no great men in war. We've seen that here today. War is only a game to see how much you can lose before giving up. But trust me, we will never give up. Join me, brothers and sisters. Grab a blade from the floor, even if it belonged to their honor guard. Take it. I'd prefer that. The Triumvirate may think they've crippled our resolve, but no. Each swing of that blade will carry the weight of our fallen comrades behind it. We will use that weight to crush their army and make them pay for this attack.
More rebels start to crowd around, looking up to Damek. They have smiles on their faces and they nod along with his words. This inspires him to continue his speech, his morale rising quickly.
When the Triumvirate looks down on that blade in their final moments, I want them to know that they sealed their own fate. Mark my words, family. The Triumvirate shall fall. They will burn for what they've done here today.
He should have used the resolute emotion emoji.
And in the
that
end,
one, yeah, thanks.
they will beg for the mercy they were too unkind to give to us. We will free this world from their grip and deliver it to the hands of the righteous. Our dynasty will be marked with blood, yes, but theirs was marked with far more.
He looks over to Salus and motions him to step forward. Doing so, a lot of the rebellions look shocked, much like Ulrich and Pro.
The spirit realm has given us one final blessing. The truth. Standing here before you is not Salis. He has become a vessel. This is the spirit realm embodied, powered by our underground idol. Driven by the howls of countless spirits, he seeks vengeance. But he has also brought with him the answers to our every question. No longer shall we live in the dark. We know the true nature of things.
Everyone mumbles amongst themselves, clearly confused. I glance over at Ulrich and Pro, and they seem a bit more calm. As odd as the truth was, they seem to trust Damek no matter what.
We are not the only victims of the Triumvirate's wrath. The spirit realm is not what we believed. Not at all. What we cherished and worshipped was a prison. A prison to house the previous residents of Alestia. Residents that were deemed too corrupt by the Triumvirate. As they were pushed aside, we were created to serve. The Triumvirate did not create our world, but they did create us in the image of perfection. We were pure and existed only to follow their every order. But over time, the previous residents reached out from their prison. Growing in strength, they created what we called the spirit idols. These were used to slowly give our people the gift of free will. Though pure, we lacked the abilities to be ourselves. This was the greatest gift we could ever ask for. They opened our eyes, allowing us to fight back. But so far, every insurrection has failed. This is what we will change, thanks to the seer.
He waves me over and I take a few steps forward. The rebels stare at me with hopes in their eyes. A perfect counter to the spear I saw earlier.
You see, the spirit realm is no more. All of the energy in that realm has found a new home. Some of it is in this vessel, and some of it is in the blade. But the largest portion resides within the seer. That is why he is uniquely capable of wielding the blade. Alestia's previous residents, the ancient monarchy, are responsible. They saw a way to help us defeat the Triumvirate and took it. But you see, we no longer fight for ourselves. We fight for everybody. If we lose, both us and the monarchy perish. We cannot let this happen. We are the only people capable of carrying out this objective. There won't be another chance. No more seers, no more blades. We will show them that their vision of a pure world is flawed. But in order to do so, I must step down as the general. You see, this army is no longer mine to lead. I'm sorry. This new truth changes both the world and our cause.
Damek motions me to come closer, so I do, and he smiles. I'm standing right beside him, resting my hands on the banister. I see such a wide array of emotions coming from the rebels' faces.
As I mentioned, the seer was blessed with immense power. But what he truly has within is the souls of the monarchy, giving him the strength to use that blade. He is our champion. But he is more than just our champion. He is our king, rightful heir to the throne of Alestia, our true ruler. By decree of the spirits, we are his to command.
Oh boy, no pressure, guys. All eyes are on me now. I glance over to Valestia and Fortane. They're in complete shock and awe at this revelation, and I sort of am too. Without saying anything, I reach back for the blade and pull it out. I look at the rebels and hold the blade up in the air. The beams of light from the surface serve to illuminate its beauty. This elicits applause from the rebels as they cheer me on. I smile, looking down at my friends and comrades. In this moment, it seems like the hope we had lost finally returned. By like 5%. Don't get ahead of myself. There was a lot to take care of, but we knew it wasn't over.
If you'll excuse us, we need to make some new plans. But I'll have an itinerary posted in the barracks by morning. Until then, please do your best to clean up this atrium. And please, bring the bodies down to the spirit idol. It seems only fitting, and there's plenty of room. With that said, you're all dismissed. Thank you.
Damek turns to face me and Salis. He smiles, realizing his job is done.
Well then, back to the war table. We need to talk about our next step. Without a bigger army, we won't win. And I think I know what to do. Come on, bring your friends too. I'll grab Ulrich and Pro. Let's do this.
Something seems different about Damek. He's not as happy and energetic as he was before, but he seemed a lot more confident and resolute. When I get to the bottom of the stairs, Balessa and Fontaine appear. I can tell they're overwhelmed, but they also seem happy for me. They seem to disregard the resurrection of Salus and focus on me.
I always knew you were special, but a king? And no more spirit realm. What's going to happen?
That is so cool, Seer! Or I guess I should call you king now. Or maybe monarch? I don't know, it's just cool.
He laughs and shuffles in place awkwardly. They may not want to talk about it, but they know. Everything feels off right now. Things are so confusing.
I hope that we can work all of this out. Let's go plan our next move with Damek. I wonder what he has in mind for us.
I bet it's something amazing. He might not be the leader, but he's still a strategist. We need to make sure that we come back from this loss.
Balessa looks at the bodies along the atrium floor. It's also covered in blood, likely to stain for a long time. If Salus could come back from the dead, then what about them?
Yeah, we can't let their deaths be in vain. Like Damek said, they need to give us strength. The only thing we can do is hope that it's enough.
We have arrived back at the war table, taking sighs of relief. And that... yeah, that's his choice, so we're going to save it here. And that'll be it for tonight. Woo! That was quite a third act, the essay said. Or Act 3, or whatever it was called. Woof! Oh boy. That one did take about an hour. Lots of things changed really quickly. Whew. I'm getting tired, so... morale's at 5%, purity's at 40%. Books read 12. So have a good night, everybody, and we will continue our story here for another session of this in a week, which is going to be on the 20th. September 20th. Isn't that when that whole, like, Area 51 thing's going on? You're not going to be raiding Area 51. We're going to be right here. You're going to be right here, not bothering anybody in New Mexico. You will be right here watching the stream. Right? 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 Now, thank you all for showing up, and thank you very much for seeing this whole one through, man. This is a long one. Very emotional journey. Lots of ups and downs. And have a good night, guys. See you next week.